would be. It's cooler than Antarctica's weather would be. Damn, I think my swagger is a weapon to me. And dudes don't count you off the record to me. So don't be stepping to me, trying to shake my hand. I'm already the man, ain't trying to make your band. I feel the fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. 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 You're not really seeing me, dog. Real talk. You feeling whacker than you ever would be. In mind, you think you would.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all can see me because I don't feel like, okay, it's there. I was like, I don't know if y'all can see me or not because it feels like I'm live, but I'm not live, but I'm really live. It's a bird, it's a rat, it's a dog, whatever Jackie said, I'm here. So thank y'all for joining me for this. As you know, every Tuesday, me and Cindy C will be reviewing the Basketball Wives season 10. And so we are here, y'all. But before I bring up Cindy, let's go ahead and take care of the business of this channel. If you want to join my tribe, please stay on my site. Go ahead and subscribe, like the video, share the video, comment in the comment section. If you are, well, comment in the comment section to keep me in the algorithm. If you're in the chat, say what's up. What's up to us? Also, turn on notifications on. Make sure you get notified every time that I go live. I'm going to play my intro, and we're going to get started, y'all. Let's go.
I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair.
Hey, what's going on, Cindy?
Hey, everyone. Hey, everybody.
Before we get started, let's say what's up to everybody that's in the chat. Aquarius MC, what's going on? Protect my energy. Chi-Town, thank you so much for helping me take care of the business of this channel. Thank you for being here. Q, what's going on? Lovely 31 Blueprint. We got Jasmine here. Jennifer, what's going on? What's going on? Who else? Wait, we got Darren Hood. What's going on, friend? What is going on? And Latasha Black. I don't think I've ever seen you over here, but welcome. And if you have been over here, I'm sorry, I didn't know. But what's going on, Cindy?
I'm so ready for this. I can't even. I'm so ready.
Me too. Hey, Janet Holiday. So while we're getting ready for this, and let's talk a little bit before we get into it. Let us know on a scale from 1 to 10, if you guys have been watching the show, what are you rating this episode? What are you rating it, Cindy?
You know, midway, it would have been a little bit higher for me. Mm-hmm. It would have been probably like a 7 because I like to see that they started diversifying, you know, who they were filming with. In all actuality, it all wasn't leaning on just Malaysia and Brandi. But then when we got to the Malaysia and Brandi part, which is at the very end, kind of fell to a 5 to me because I was just like, really?
Okay.
But whatever. That's just me.
That's you. Okay, and that's fine. That's totally fine.
What do you rate it at?
I'm gonna rate this episode. I'm always gonna rate them high, and you already know. I'm going to give it a 10 for me, honestly.
Really?
I'm going to tell you the reason why is because, one, I love to see the different storylines that are going on here.
Yeah.
I love that we're watching Jennifer try to date. I love that we're seeing Brittish and whatever that man's name is. That she's...
What is it, Orlando?
Lorenzo, yes.
Lorenzo,
yes.
Lorenzo.
Orlando was... what's that girl, little short girl name?
What is her name?
Dang. Oh my God, her name.
British. She's so forgettable. I'm so sorry. You
No,
said
it ain't
British,
Brit.
right?
I thought Orlando was
Lorenzo. It's British and Lorenzo.
but Orlando was Royce's boyfriend.
I don't remember him at all.
That was the guy that she was
Royce,
crying to her dad that whole time. Yes,
but
Royce.
Royce had a
Royce.
boyfriend?
Yeah,
Okay.
remember she was on that season. She kept, it was so irritating, but she kept crying that whole time.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes, now I remember. Oh, God. Yep.
Poor Orlando and her dad for having to listen to that. It was so annoying. But yes, so I love the fact that we're watching Jennifer date. I'm glad that we've talked about, Malaysia and Brandi's real situation.
Right.
Who else? Brooke. I went back this week to watch Brooke's first season, and I realized I love Brooke.
Yeah, me too. I liked her then. I really liked her then. I
I
felt
did
like she was
too.
treated unfairly in her first
Absolutely.
season, and then
Hmm.
she just disappeared. Like they didn't even bring her back, or maybe she didn't want to come back to even kind of resolve those things.
Hmm.
Because at that point, that's when Drea was the bigger star. So maybe Drea didn't want to film with her. I don't know.
Drea was over them because remember that season, the last season, she was on her in Malaysia, and Brandi got into it, and then she
Right.
left. She never came back.
Never came back.
Jennifer says,
But
I
she's
have been
back now. I love it.
No, Drea's not back. I'm just saying Drea left because of that.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's
Yeah.
ever going to come back.
She's
Jennifer
never
said,
coming
I haven't
back.
watched because you know who, but ain't about to fight. So I'm going to be good. You can keep your earrings because I'm going to take them out. I'll take them out. What else is going on in the chat? Q said, you're talking about Royce. Yes, he played for Orlando. Not Dwight Howard. And yes,
Dwight Howard is her baby. Dwight Howard is her son's father.
yes, but she was dating him at the time on the show.
Yeah.
So yes. So I'm ready to get into this show because there's so much to talk about.
So much.
Okay. So let's go ahead and start pulling up stuff. We start off with Jackie here at Angel Brinks' shop. If I was Angel Brinks, I would have a sign on my front door saying, "Do not let this lady in my business." Okay.
I know. It caught me off guard, especially like how dramatic she was with like ripping her clothes off, and now you want
Yes.
to be up in her store. I was
No,
a little
absolutely.
confused by that.
She should never be allowed in Angel. And then
Never.
she had the nerve to say, "I'm here to shop." You got
Right.
shopping here.
That's what
You
I said.
got
I was
shopping.
like, she talked about, and then even when she got the whole rip dress gate that happened, she
Mhm.
was still kind of like, you know, poor Angel was like, I designed it. You told me what you wanted.
She told
I
her exactly
designed
what she
it.
wanted.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden she couldn't breathe. That was a
Right.
real crazy Jackie moment. That was.
Yes.
She was just spinning out of control for no reason.
There would be a handbook when you come work at my shop. If you see this
Right.
lady, do not let her in here. Period. Okay.
Right.
Under
I
no
agree.
circumstances. I don't care if I'm
Under no
filming
circumstances.
BasketballWives or if the president comes up in this building. Do not let her in my building. Period.
I agree. Agree
So
1,000%.
absolutely. I'm like,
But she
yo.
walks into her shop, and I'm like, Jackie? Of all
Mhm.
people, literally, I was so shocked to see her there. I was like,
Me too.
okay.
Me too. Or Malaysia. I wouldn't let Malaysia in either.
No, neither of them.
Neither one.
No.
So we're there. Uh, Tiffany said, "OMG, I forgot she made that dress."
Right.
Y'all, you got to know, if you watch the show, like, you know better than Jackie should never be allowed in that play. Her or Malaysia.
Never.
Never. So we have that. Then we have this moment here. This, to me, I'm like, why is he here?
Right. I
Like,
thought the exact same thing. And he's just so corny. He
oh my
just
God.
reads as like, a clown.
Yeah.
He seems so forced and fake, just fake,
Mhm.
fake. I was like, why are you even in this scene? Are they trying to put him in a better light because she's pregnant by this guy? Like, we really don't ever need to see him.
Right. Like, I'm sick of him already.
Yep,
And
me
this
too.
is only episode 3.
Right.
So
And he's been in it way too much, in my opinion. I'm
and I
like, you're
wish we
not a
would have got
wife.
to
You're not a
see.
girl.
I wish at least show us when they made up, because from the last time we seen, she left the dinner table because he was mad at her.
Right, exactly.
Now he's
And
bringing her
and
flowers.
told Duffy that they were taking time apart. So now
Right.
they're back together, and we'll get there hopefully. But I really appreciated what Duffy said, in, as it pertains to him. So
Yes. I will say I am loving Duffy this season.
mm, I
I
liked her a
really
little
am.
bit better.
I feel like the show is really being built around her right now, because she has a lot more camera time than anybody.
Yeah. I mean, I was okay with her, them having lunch and then her doing the meat market. So I,
Yeah.
I was okay with her there because she wasn't being messy. And I appreciated anyway, we'll get there.
Wait a minute. He had money hanging from his pocket. Oh, it is hanging
Oh,
out of his pocket. I didn't see. I
it
didn't.
is.
This is the worst display of anything I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. He just
But
he
so
just
we're
doesn't fit. I don't know what she sees in this man, but
I don't
okay.
either. But we're here. He's like basically came like, is my baby still here? I mean, it's a boy. I just make sure the boy's still there. I wasn't seeing the love in this at all.
Not at all.
It was
It
like,
wasn't real. He was so fake. And I
yeah,
don't know if it was because Jackie was sitting there and he
yeah.
saw and he knows the cameras are there, but
Mhm.
it just wasn't he didn't
It
read
wasn't
genuine
Jackie.
to
It was the
me.
camera. It was the cameras.
Yeah. He didn't read genuine to me, and it didn't seem
Mhm.
that as though he was really in love with. I didn't see any love, you
Yeah, at
know?
all. And Jackie's like, oh my God, y'all are so in love, and y'all should
Right.
make it work. And me and Doug have had this 26-year-old man. I'm like, but girl, they're not gonna have that.
No.
It's not gonna
Nope.
happen.
It's not going to happen. And I felt
Um,
really uncomfortable for her, to be honest.
Me too.
Because it seems so fake to me. And
Hmm.
he's, just like kind of trashy and trying to be in there pretending to be a good guy. Like everything that he said just seemed like bad acting.
Right, me too. But he was bad acting on Love and Hip Hop as well.
Yep.
So it's nothing new. And
Yep.
Chi-Town, I'm just gonna let you know right now, this is gonna take a big turn today for me. But she said, I just need to know why Brandi is back. She is so problematic and butthurt over her own actions. But we're gonna get
Yep.
there in a minute. What's going on, little boss lady? And I'm liking Duffy too. Rock stars from Love and Hip Hop. He is messy. Yes, I already know that. And can you take him off the screen? Yo, he's triggering me too. But this scene was just terrible. So let's get to this scene. The
Yeah.
ladies are sitting down. Duffy wants to do the meat market. I thought this was really dope of Duffy to even put out there. One, because again, y'all taught me last week that Brandi was still married to that man. I didn't even realize they were still married.
Right.
But Jackie, Brandi, and Duffy is in a relationship. Well, Jackie and Brandi are still married. Duffy's in a relationship. I got a lot to say about Duffy, but we're gonna wait till we get to this point with Duffy.
Okay.
But I did think that this was a great idea that Duffy had to hook up the girls who don't have anybody. What I didn't realize, and because I watched this a bunch of times today, they named all the girls but Malaysia.
Right.
Did you catch that?
Because yeah, I did catch it because I think even though they have had editing, I think
Mhm,
Malaysia hasn't really been a part of the groups because every time she tries to participate,
mhm.
uh, I feel like Brandy is all up in her face. So
Yeah. And I think they're rock star bets for other team as well, for my team too. And you like Brandi, good, because we gonna get there. Why is Duffy running around looking like middle age?
right, I hated the wig. I'm sorry. I agree with you, Jennifer.
I ain't like the wig either. I
I
mean,
hated it,
yeah.
hated it, hated the hairstyle. And the same thing for Angel. I hate the blonde with the two pony, like they both look like little they're too old to be looking like
Yeah,
anime.
I agree with you.
And their moms. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I like the way she looked when
Yeah.
before this season, her previous season, to be honest.
And
Duffy.
she didn't do all this outlandish hair stuff going on. Like, I'm
Yeah,
like,
she
what's
had
going
her
on?
cute little short wave hair and I liked
Yeah.
it. I liked that way better than the
Oh, her
hair that
short
she's
hair.
been
Yeah, I
rocking.
like their short hair. With her short hair
Yeah,
was really good. I loved it.
was super cute. Yep.
Mhm. Then this animal attacked them. Jackie was like, it's a bird, it's a dog, it's a cat, it's a
It's
Well, it's a
everything.
roach.
It's
I don't know
everything.
what it is, but it had wings, and either you going out or I'm going out.
Right. And I'm just like, girl, it's a beetle. You have not, how old are you and you don't know what a beetle looks like? But okay. I mean, just relax. They look so, it did look a little awkward to me with all of them kind of squeezed into those two tables. How about you?
Yes,
Like,
it
it just
did.
seemed like, and also, I wanted to ask you this. Weren't Duffy and Brandi super close? Because they don't seem as close anymore.
Well,
She was
so
my sister this, and it's gonna be about us, and blah blah
yes,
blah. At first, and now they're just kind of like they're in a scene together, but they don't really interact. Like when she was talking about the meat market, Brandy
mhm,
was smiling and looking at her, but it
mhm.
didn't. It they didn't. I don't know. Something is missing. Like it wasn't flowing the way it used to. Right?
I think that Duffy learned from the first season that she was on here that she cannot just be a Brandy friend. She has to
Okay.
interact with other girls. So Duffy is, to me, Duffy's playing her cards the right way this season because
Okay.
she's not just friends with Brandy, she's friends with everybody on the cast. She's even able to go and talk to freaking Malaysia. So she's
Right.
she's she's working her hand for this because she wanted to come back next season. So I think she's doing a good thing. And what's
Okay.
going on to Marva CB and Powerful and Prosperity Thick Girl? What's going on, y'all? And y'all logging in a little later, so I'm trying to make sure I say hi to everybody. Darren said that this is not a good hair color on Duffy, and Q says she looks so different. Um, so yeah, so okay, we did this one. We talked about the bud. So then we get to Malaysia here. Now, I want to ask you this because I was watching Busy earlier today, and I feel the same way Busy feels, but I want to know how you feel about Malaysia in this single mother. My storyline is single mother, single mother, single mother.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about this?
I mean, I feel like that's if they want to show their life, she's showing her life. I feel
Mhm.
like we've had plenty of seasons of her luxuriating, of her being fun, of her actually arguing and stuff. And now we're seeing what her real life is, which is her being a mom. I'm not bothered by mm, a low level of negativity. I mean, that's just what it is for me.
So when I watched this episode, because we're on like episode 3, and Malaysia been a single mom for a long time.
Yeah, she
What
has.
has
But
what has happened?
I
Like,
think that was when I think the co-parenting, she was kind of figuring it out, and yes, she had been, but maybe he was giving her more money at that point. Now she's having to struggle. They're showing her going from living in that big, huge house to a two-bedroom apartment, which
but she
by most.
chose to move into that apartment because she wanted to come back to Basketball Wives because she still lives in that house.
Yes, but she's living in a smaller place because her children were in Atlanta and then she is in LA, so she didn't need to be in the big house. The kids weren't there.
But
Now
but she
they're
but
now
she
they're
still
there.
lives in that house. Though. That's the thing. She still lives in that house. She's working in LA because she's on Basketball Wives, but she still lives in that house.
I know,
So
but what I'm saying is if she's staying here temporarily to do work in LA, why would she need a huge house? It was just going to be her. Then she brought the kids in.
and no, what I'm saying is this: she's acting like all of a sudden like she had to downgrade to be a single mother, and this is her storyline. And just from watching from episode 1 to 3, that's all she's been crying about and talking about. And it's
Right.
like, well, Malaysia, you've been a single mother for a very long time.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and I mean, maybe he's stopped paying for stuff. I don't know,
Right.
but even when she talked about it, she didn't really say that. What she said was he pays it every once in a while, but I feel like he's been doing that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think he had been because she would have, her, she would have been mentioning it back then, you know?
I honestly, I feel like Malaysia doesn't have a storyline this season.
I don't know. I feel like they're forcing the storyline of Brandy. She's there so that Brandy can basically, confront her. That's what it feels like to me. And she didn't really, I don't know if she knew that that was what she was there for.
And no, she didn't move. She didn't downgrade. She went to work in LA. So she's like her money. If she can afford a big house in Atlanta and an apartment in LA, that's not a downgrade. Actually, that's an upgrade. You have 2 homes now. It's not a
Well, I mean,
downgrade.
I don't know. This might be a temporary thing, just because so she can be here to shoot the show and open up her little pop up shop.
Okay, but my thing is you're not downgrading. You upgraded because now you have more than one home. You have new businesses. Like there's no downgrade.
Right. But I mean, I just don't understand where you keep getting down. She didn't say my life downgraded. She just said, I'm living here in a two-bedroom, and I want to, my kids are not used to this, so I want to get us out of there as soon as possible. She didn't, say from herself, like, I have downgraded because he's not paying.
I think my thing is like she's like this storyline that we're getting this season is like I'm a single mother. I'm a single mother in Malaysia. You've been a single mother for a very long time at this point.
Right.
And you're doing well for yourself because not only do you have one home, now you have two. You have another new business because you just told us about this whole store that you're opening, your pop-up shops, and how you're purchasing a building or a
Hmm.
business space for this. So I get that it's hard to be a single mother, but
Right.
she's not. But this seems made up to me because
Really?
what else are you going to talk about if it's not this and Brandy? Because I'm gonna tell you now where we're going right now. Me, you are
Hmm.
not going to agree.
Okay.
We
Okay.
are not going to agree.
All
But
right.
I'm a little concerned about Malaysia's storyline this season because something's not landing for me. Okay,
Mm.
it's just not landing for me. But she's here with the kids. I mean, this was dope because I mean, I'm glad that they were able. She can afford to do this.
Right.
Um,
I mean, I just don't understand. I've always liked Malaysia. I really feel like, if we're gonna be talking about whose storyline is what right now, like,
mhm.
for me, Jennifer is like, what else is she offering? I would
we
rather
gonna
see
we gonna get there.
Malaysia.
We gonna get there too.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I would rather see Malaysia than Jennifer talking about her dead dog, basically. But whatever. Let's
It's
let's move
just
on.
yeah, it's just so much going on right now. This is why I love this episode because there's so much to pick apart.
Right.
Um, so Malaysia brought her kids to LA with her because once she was missing them, and the father wasn't really able to be there. The sister was really helping or whatever, and so now they're all together. So we know
Right.
that she does have help with her children because her sister's helping with them.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually seen this in prior seasons as well. You do remember that, right?
What about her sister helping her?
Yes, because remember, she was talking about her brother who got killed by the police,
Right.
and her sister was there. Her sister was there helping. So we
Okay.
know she
Well,
has help with her kids
but
outside of her husband or ex-husband.
that's true. That's true. But she shouldn't have to have her sister helping. They both made those kids, and he should be responsible. A dad is not part
Right,
timer when it's convenient. Like, just
right,
like a mom is not when it's convenient for her. Like,
right,
he should be their full time dad. That's his responsibility. He's not doing her a favor by watching their children. And if he's on the road with his team, then he's not watching their children. So she's saying, I'm going to go get my babies because they need to have at least one of their parents. So he's
right.
not prioritizing those kids the way that she is.
And I see y'all's questions in the chat. We're gonna everything y'all ask. We're gonna get this all this stuff. So, but I agree with you. But to me, it's just like, well, I mean, you've known this for a very long time, though. Like to me,
Right.
at this point, it's nobody else's fault because you laid down with this man who's not gonna take care of your kids.
Well, she didn't
And
know that she was married to him, and she didn't know that he wasn't going to be taking care of his kids, though. So, Dad, like, when you split up,
I
when
don't, I
and
don't know.
that's
I
what
don't know if I
that's what
believe.
I
I don't know if I believe that because I mean, where we watch it on every season, every franchise of this, every season, there's another person coming on saying the man not taking care of these kids. So they know these basketball guys are not taking care of these kids. Period.
okay, but that
Now
was
maybe
their
she thought the same
experience.
dreams the rest of these girls had
Exactly.
that this was the one who was actually going to take care of these kids. But I mean, the only person that we're really looking at is like Brandy and Jackie.
Yeah, but I mean, even Brandy doesn't even show her family. So again, like Prosperity Thick Girl just said, what is Brandy's storyline other than Malaysia? Because I haven't heard her talk about anything else.
We can't even
No,
get into Brandy's storyline because of Malaysia.
but that's because of her. She's the one bringing her up. Nobody
No,
brings her up except for her.
Brandy is literally coming in trying to make peace with the situation. Period. However it
No,
goes.
she wasn't. She attacked her from the very
All
first moment that
all
she
she
saw
said
her.
was Malaysia. You didn't know that my father passed. You didn't call me.
No,
Malaysia's
it
like,
was
well,
aggressive and negative how she did it. She was attacking her. She was just like, so, and then before she even got to the table, she was just like, she's not lying. Of course she knew. Of course she knew. She
and
was
I told you,
already negative.
I even told you last week. I said I believe Malaysia didn't know.
I
I
believe
definitely,
it.
I understand this part, but
Right.
if we're asking what Brandy's storyline is, to me, it's almost like this is like the Tammy and Evelyn crap. Like it's like they're making up a story for whatever reason. Because
Uh-huh.
honestly, there's no reason for Brandy and Malaysia to be mad at each other. Y'all wasn't talking to each other. Period. Forget it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think either one of them are creating something, but I think that Brandy does. We haven't seen Brandy in like 4 years. So
Right.
Brandy definitely has some storylines. One, the girls that she was arguing with before, they're friends now. I mean, she's cool with Jennifer, with British. She's friends with everybody that when she left before, she wasn't cool with. So there's so much that we can see from Brandy. Malaysia just has this single mother and me and Brandy ain't getting along thing. And again,
No, oh my gosh, I so disagree. I
I know,
really disagree
I
with
know, I
that.
knew we were going to disagree, but
Yeah, I really do. I don't feel like that is the case at all. I don't think that Brandy is really interested in really trying to cultivate and build a friendship with those girls.
Mhm.
Her focus is Malaysia. Period. And because Malaysia refuses to speak with her, she keeps then spending time with the other girls because other than that, what would be her point of being on the show? She never talks about it unless they're not showing it because of the editing. She never talks about anything else. Even at the party that they went, I'm sorry, the little pamper thing that they did last week, we
Mhm.
even talked about it then. They were all talking about other situations, and she was talking about how much she loved Malaysia. She still brought her up. Nobody brought her up.
Duffy brought that up. Duffy brought that up.
Duffy brought up
Brought it up.
Malaysia.
Yes, yes. So since we're there, let's talk about this. So you
Okay.
remember the season that Brandy came to Basketball Wives,
Yes.
and before it was Malaysia and it was Drea, right?
Right. Hmm.
Brandy, towards the end of that, Brandy was like, "We're not even. I just met you like 5 weeks ago. We're not friends."
Right.
And Malaysia was trying to talk her into being her friend.
Right.
Remember that? So then Duffy comes and Malaysia flipped it on her.
Right.
So to me, when we're going down this timeline of Basketball Wives,
Hmm.
to me, it seemed like payback from Malaysia to Brandy.
This season.
No, I'm saying from the start of Duffy coming in up until
Oh
now,
yes. Uh-huh.
it seems like payback from Malaysia to Brandy.
I don't see how
Because
that is the.
now Duffy's the one in the middle saying, "Well, I don't know." And even at the end of this episode, Duffy's confused as hell. Like, I didn't even notice what was going on.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I
So
was saying earlier. I thought that Brandy and Duffy were more close. They were the one talking about sisters, and I
mhm.
thought that Brandy was the one that introduced Duffy to the show. And Malaysia didn't really want to be bothered with Duffy to begin, at the very beginning. So I was surprised when she said I didn't really know what the reason was, but I'm like, weren't you guys sisters? Weren't you guys so close? So I'm not sure why you're so confused. And I feel
I don't see the disconnect between Duffy and Brandy this season. I feel like Brandy's coming in and
no,
they're
I
just
definitely they were definitely so much more chummy and close in previous when they were together in the previous season. They
no,
really were.
I get that, but I feel like I mean we're just seeing like their regular friendship now. Like
Mm,
they're because Duffy's connecting with all the girls.
yeah, but
Brandy's
they were
coming in,
much more close.
yeah,
That's why I
but
think
Brand
that's why I think she's jealous of Malaysia because once again, here she is around Brandy and Brandy is harping on Malaysia. So she was jealous then, she's jealous now, and I really felt like but then she was much more close whether she was trying to get to know the other women or not. It
I
was
think
just
that
she had
Duffy's looking out for Brandy because what she said last episode was, I don't want to see Brandy mess up her new friendships, trying to be friends with Malaysia again. And even hearing
but
the
I
whole
don't feel
thing,
like that's taken up for her. I feel like that's what she was
I
saying
think that's
like
her being
I,
worried
I
about her friend who she knows wants to be friends with some girl who doesn't even care about her. Because even hearing this episode, Brandy was friends with Zelle before Malaysia. So it's
Right,
like,
but I feel like what Duffy was basically saying is that kind of from like a jealous boyfriend kind of way, um, I don't want her focus to be on Malaysia. I want her to focus on being friends with these other girls so that she and I could be like tighter.
I'm
Although,
sorry, Cindy, but if I've been best friends with somebody for 15 years and
yeah,
we're back around each other and we're on national television, we can't just walk into the show and pretend like that never happened.
right.
Like
I don't
it
know.
has to
I
be,
just,
it has to be addressed.
well, all right. Okay,
So
fair enough.
I feel like that's where Brandi is coming from, because it's like, even when she's addressing Malaysia, she's still saying, y'all don't talk about Malaysia, y'all. I mean, this, just y'all know she's not, or what, like she's still in best friend mode with her.
Okay, well, I feel like Malaysia, from my perspective, sorry, and we haven't gotten there yet,
Mhm.
was always Brandy's friend and always protecting her in it. And I felt like that was really evident when she said, "I was trying not to bring up the past so that she wouldn't basically make Brandy look bad about why they're not speaking anymore."
Oh, and
Because
shout out to me.
she could have
Listen,
gossiped about her and drug her through the mud too.
true. Shout out to me and you, because 9 months ago we called this out, right?
Right, we did.
So
Right, we
we
both said that. I was like, this is this. I was like, because there really, if we think about it, there really wasn't a reason why
yeah,
they would not be talking, right? That
yeah.
this would only be because that was the last time we saw them together, and that was the last situation. Although when she tried to bring her back and tried to bring her back on the show, I don't know. I don't want to speak through it
Yeah,
because I felt like,
let's wait till we get there, because
okay,
this
okay,
is gonna be a really good conversation. So I want to wait till we
yeah,
get there. So
okay,
let's get to this. Oh, Jennifer and Jackie and Angel. This part to me didn't make any sense. I'm sorry.
no, me
I've had
neither.
pets, but I'm not going to what is it called?
A pet psychic.
Whatever. Yeah, let's call it a pet psychic, a medium. To find out what my dog is doing after they die. Like
Right.
I just can't. I'm so sorry.
No, no. And I feel like this made me feel really, really bad for Jennifer in the way that obviously she has experienced loss and trauma, and she
Mhm.
just seems so lonely to me. And I really hate that you know they made this a part of like her life and her storyline. I would rather her go to get therapy than see
Yes.
her at this medium talking about her 17-year-old dog. And I just, and then Jackie on the sideline being like, "Oh, Jen, oh, Jen." I was like, "Oh no." And poor Angel is sitting there like, "Well, I lost."
She's like, what the
Okay, I
hell
was
is
like,
going
You're
on?
talking about you lost your partner,
Right.
the father to your kid." You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, how are
And
you sitting
honestly,
there being
Jennifer needs
like
to get her money
unsympathetic?
back, because the medium didn't need, like, the medium never was on point at all at any of this. She was like,
Right.
well, did the dog run back and forth? I mean, everybody dog run back and forth.
Right.
Like,
And then when she said, she goes, "Did your mom own a ring?" And she was,
yes.
no,
She's
she
like,
goes,
no, I don't
"Do
have
you
a
have a
ring.
ring on your mom?" And she's like, "No."
No.
I was just
Well,
like,
are you want to
okay,
get a ring? Okay, well, everybody wants a ring, ma'am. So
absolutely, exactly. I was just like her in the metal rods. I was like, what is happening? And why are we wasting 2-3 minutes on this scene? I
next time,
didn't get
Jennifer, if
it.
you need somebody to be a medium for, call me, because I
Right.
can guess what the dog is
I'll take
doing
that money.
today.
Yes, I'll
I'm
take that
like,
money.
did your dog eat food?
Right.
No.
I know. And then the metal rods
Do you want
start
a
to
new
cross.
home? Would you like a new home and
Right.
a new
I'm just
car?
kind of like,
There's
who
a new
found
car,
this
new home coming
lady?
for you.
Yeah.
No.
I just didn't get it. I was just like, who found this lady? Why are we looking
And
at this
poor,
scene?
well, you know who found that lady was Jackie.
Well, then that makes sense.
Yes.
'Cause that
And
would be
poor
like
Jennifer, you
her.
can see her
And then she's
crying.
talking about, "I'm really religious." I was like, when have we ever heard Jackie talking about God? Ever.
Never, never.
Never. But
Because
I'm like,
remember, she went
okay,
to the medium I think they went to New Orleans. She went to the medium and they talked to her about her mom and her sister. Now that lady was on point though.
right. She was.
But
That's right.
this dog lady, the dog medium turned into the medium period. I'm like, well, first of
Right.
all, I thought you
And
just
she
did
only
that.
talked about her mom because Jennifer mentioned it. She was just
Yeah.
like, I recently lost my dog and I lost my mom. And then all of a sudden now her mom is in the room. I was like, lady, I mean, come
She
on.
was like, "Did your dog grow from a puppy to a grown dog?"
I know. It was like such obvious things. I'm like,
Right.
you're just saying. I was thinking now she's just saying things that dogs do. Like, and she was like, oh yeah, because she's still doing that. Get out
Right.
here. I was just like, so she's been having running from room to room. Okay, thank you.
Oh yeah. I think all dogs do that, but hey, did your dog
Right.
ever get sick? Oh yeah, when you get to see the dog did get sick because it died, you know.
Right. Right. It was
What are we
such
doing
a
here?
waste of time. And it was so I felt embarrassed and just kind of like she seems so lonely. Please, where is the meat market? Let's hurry it up and get to the meat market. That's what I felt like watching Jennifer cry. Like I was like, I can't with this. Please.
And what's going on to Saki and Mace and the
Hey
Vegas
Saki.
girl? But yeah, I cried tears laughing when I watched. I'm like,
It was so
Jennifer, get your
ridiculous.
money back, please. I hope y'all didn't pay her.
Please. I know. I was just like, this is just too much. Of course, now it makes sense. It's a JackieChristie person. Let's move on. So ridiculous.
Jackie get it herself.
Absolutely.
All right, so then we get to British and this man.
Lorenzo.
I was so
I
disappointed in this.
I can't.
I was disappointed in this.
Me too. I was disappointed with her behavior as well too, I have to say.
One, the daughter didn't feel like I didn't feel like the daughter wanted to be up there.
Yep, I agree.
The daughter was like, she was like, your dad's here. She was like, but there's a dog over here.
Right. And I was like, why would you take first of all, also, why would you take her to a store filled with things that are going to distract her if you want
Right,
her to focus on her dad, but okay.
right. Um, then he started controlling her private parts.
Right. Which
Um,
I felt like I was like, is that editing? Where would that comment even come from? Like your child is there. Your
yeah,
child is present. Like why would you even say that to her like that? You know?
and see, the part that bothers me is that he controls hers, and but then he laughs about his.
Right.
And I'm like, girl, first of if you don't let this man go,
Right.
because I'm
Well,
sick of
she
him
can't
already.
completely let him go because they're trying to co-parent, but then there's what I felt like needed to happen was there should be some boundaries.
Yes,
She really needs both of them. They
yeah,
need to, but her in particular needs to focus on boundaries. It's almost like because, I don't know how much you know about their background since she's been off the show, but it's
hmm
really been bad. Like
hmm
they've had some really bad things happen. And I just feel like, it's kind of like that cycle of like an unhealthy relationship where, you know, she kind of likes the attention because she knows that he kind of wants her back, but then he's out here with all these other women, which is why they broke up because he was cheating. You know what I
right,
mean? It's just
right.
kind of like she needs to have the boundaries of like, just come and pick up your daughter. You and I don't need to have any conversations about our personal lives. And the only conversation we need to have is about our daughter Dash, and that's it.
Right. I mean, I get it
Wow.
because I mean, if you're the man is very fine, but I just can't subject myself to that.
Right.
Um,
But he's not a good person. That's the
he's
problem.
not, and I think also I don't think that he was taught to communicate how he feels about her or whatever, or even
Right.
how to treat a woman because
Well, he did in the
I
see,
do
he
feel
did
like
in the
I feel like he
beginning.
loves her. I feel like she loves
Yeah.
him, but they
Yeah.
just don't know how to communicate that at all or work that out, and it seems it's very trashy.
Yep. It's
Um,
very trashy, and it's really, inappropriate to be that way with their child right in the room. You know what
right,
I mean? Like
right,
he's messy. Like they're both messy. And he was communicating well with her when she was on the series the first time because
hmm
they were in love and they didn't have any problems. But since they've been having problems, he's just whack. I wouldn't even allow him to be on the show with me. She should have just done the show on her own. Even if they were co-parenting, there's really no reason, in my opinion, for him to be shown. They're exes. Let them be exes. She
oh,
doesn't
maybe I
need
went
him to
out.
show up.
Did I go out or did you
Hmm?
go out?
I'm here.
Okay. I remember the first season where she was on, where he, remember he left and then
Yep.
he came back to her.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that's so cute. And I think Jackie stuck there.
Yeah. I think so too. I think she got stuck in Paris, which is what the scene that
Yeah.
they showed. I
Yeah.
think she saw him make this grand gesture
Mhm.
and thought that this is going to be like her and Doug. And I
Yeah.
understand that, as an elder, she kind of wants to see them repair, but some people just are not meant to be together. They have their time, and some relationships just don't last. And you can see how unhealthy they are to one another. Like, it's just too much.
I
British had
also
just
wish I
came
also
on and
wish
got
they
her
would have
coins.
right. And I also wish they would have showed this scene before they showed the scene with Jackie, Rockstar, and Angel Brinks, because she's doing the same
Yeah,
thing with them. And I'm like, yeah,
I
girl,
know.
you're not gonna
You're not
give out
getting
good
it.
advice.
Yes. It was like she's the worst person to give advice. But, she managed to stay married with her crazy ass. She
Yeah,
managed to stay married. And so she thinks that every couple is supposed to work out that way, and they do not. You know, they don't.
yeah.
Her and Doug are from a different generation than a British and Lorenzo and an Angel and Rockstar, you know?
And she talked about how Doug was messing up at the beginning of the relationship, but then
Yep.
things changed. I think Doug is just scared of her.
I think so too. I think she probably said, if you ever try to leave me, I will hunt you down. And I believe her. Right? I believe her 1,000%. Just stay, Doug, and suffer it out. Suffer it out.
Right. You like, listen till death do you part, because I just can't.
I know, like every time they show one of their sad weddings, I just look at him and he's just like, help me. Like, I just want to like yank him out of the situation because I know he's suffered all these years.
Poor Doug.
Poor Doug.
All right, so then we get to this part. I thought this was really, 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 really cute.
Yeah, it was cute.
With Jackie, Jennifer, and Brooke. Again, like I said, I just discovered that I love Brooke again this week.
Yes, me too. I told you that. Like, I mean, on this every episode, as we go through them, I'm just kind of like, I like her. There's something like light there. She brings like a lightness and funness, to every scene that she's in.
But then it's also like when she gets mad, like she's from 0 to 100 in like seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love it.
I love it.
But I thought this was cute. They're basically helping Jennifer get ready for the meat market. And
Right.
I'm like, you know what? I could see Jennifer and Brooke being really good friends.
I
Honestly.
think so too. And
Yeah.
right now though, she's kind of Brooke is vibing more with Brandi, which, but I really think that Jennifer and Brooke could be really good friends if Brooke chooses to stay.
Yeah, and shout out to Jennifer Loves Feud that said Jackie would definitely hunt him down, or he would be the
Yes.
victim of an
Right.
episode of Snapped.
There you go, Jennifer. That's what I'm saying.
What's going on, Busy?
Hey, Busy.
Yes. That would be crazy. So they did their steaming thing,
Right.
which was, like I said, this was cute. I love this part.
Right.
This is what I tuned to Basketball Wives for, is the fun stuff.
Me too. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
These are the scenes, like, we want to see them kind of bonding and growing and all of this stuff. Everything doesn't need to be a fight. And that's why, I was like, just, we didn't need the pet medium in the scene, but this is a cute scene.
And it's interesting to see Brooke and Jennifer because they've never been on together. And then also, Jackie and Brooke got into that fight. So
yeah.
It's interesting to see this dynamic together.
Well, she's had years apart. She's married now. She's you can tell she really seems happy and in a different place. But from the scenes coming up, she's gonna get there. She's gonna go back to 10, which I love.
I cannot wait.
Yep.
She's like, it's my party now.
Exactly. I mean, I just love the contrast too of like Duffy and Angel Brinks with those wigs, and like her hair is beautiful. I just love to see her. I just think she's beautiful and fun.
Absolutely, me too. Then we get here.
Yeah.
This is the saddest friendship I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It just seems like a struggle. He just does this. Like, I don't like him. He's not necessary.
Yeah.
He's already had bad blood with Jennifer. on
Yeah.
in this particular show.
Yep.
Stay over at Love and Hip Hop. Like, we don't
Yes.
need him in Basketball Wives, but
Yeah, we
she
none
does
of us
need to
asked
have
for
a
this.
right. She does need to have a friend. So Hazel, whatever.
Yeah, because she's not filming with anybody else. It's just him.
No. Yep.
And like, we're not looking for
And
basketball
Jackie.
and a friend.
Yeah,
Like, I don't want to see Zelle. I don't like Zelle.
I
Zelle's
agree.
always been messy. And I don't want to I don't want to see, like, they live in Atlanta.
Yeah. Stay
Take them
there.
to Atlanta and do a show or something. We don't want to see them in LA.
No,
Ever.
not at all.
So I forgot what they even talked about because I hate this part.
She was talking about her storefront and
Oh
this
yeah,
is what
yeah,
she
yeah.
wants to do. And then he asked her how were things with her and
Brandi.
Brandi, and
Yeah.
she was just like, I have bigger things to do. I don't have time to be worrying about Brandi.
And
She was
they
like,
talked
I don't want to talk to her.
yeah, and I think they talked about him being friends with her and with
Right, and
Brandi and
that them having a background, and that's when he
yeah,
told her about her, DMing him or texting him and stuff like that. But
yeah.
I still feel like
And it's weird
I
to me.
don't
It's
I
weird
don't
to me. It's
remember
like,
Brandi
well,
ever talking about Zelle, but okay.
but Brandi has said that too. The thing that's weird to me is this: friends fall out. I mean, we
Yeah.
watching Malaysia and Brandi do it right now.
Yep.
But if she's reaching out to you to be a friend again, like, it's like, oh, it's a storyline. Well, if y'all wasn't on TV and she reached out to you, what would it be then?
Well, nothing, because they hadn't spoken. And again, I just, I don't know. Brandi is just putting herself in a bad light. It's again, once again, it's always about her. Woe is me. He said this about my family and blah blah blah. Whatever, lady. Nobody even cares. Her family is whack. She showed it herself. She's married still married to a serial cheater. What else do you have going on for yourself? Because I
And
don't see it.
there's such a big gap between that whole situation because, again, remember we talked about this last week.
Mm-hmm.
Malaysia talked her into staying with that man.
Yeah.
Remember that? And so, like,
Well, she didn't talk her into it. She just gave her friend input. It is up to Brand. She's a grown woman. It
no,
is
and
up
I
to
get that, but
Brandi
I'm
to make up
saying,
her mind.
but when they had that conversation, she was like, "You should have." I think Brandi was trying to leave because the same reasons why Malaysia left her husband. But then she's like,
Okay.
well, he's not really that bad. And this, and this. Now, I'm not saying that Brandi stayed because of that conversation, but
Right.
she definitely was vouching for her to stay with that man. I'm like, but you ain't staying with the man you with.
Right. 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 I don't. I mean, I know that you feel like that is a big point in that. I don't see what the big deal is. She filmed a scene with her. She said her 2 cents, and that's it.
Yeah, that
Brandi
was her
was the
best
one.
friend. And that's
Yeah.
to me, this is why this is so hard to watch for me because one, I'm gonna read your comment in a minute, Miss Drea. One, because Brandi actually took the advice that Malaysia gave her because of what Malaysia was going through at the time. She
Mm-hmm.
was going through that divorce at the time, and she was basically saying, like, girl, you don't want to go through this. He ain't that bad. So,
Right.
as a best friend, I might listen to my best friend's advice. I'm not
Right.
blaming her for staying with him because of that, but I'm saying she gave her that advice but you're going through the same thing. So
Yeah.
it never made sense to me why Malaysia gave her that advice because then why are you not taking that advice?
Well, because she did not. She made her choice to not stay with her cheating ex-husband. Brandi made her choice to stay with him. It doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. She told her what she told her, and Brandi, is not. I mean, surprisingly, that's not one of the many things that she's blaming on somebody else, and Malaysia in particular. She's not blaming her for that. So
Right,
whatever.
she ain't. She's not. So that's true.
Hmm.
Miss Drea said, but what I'm confused about is, and this is true, I thought Malaysia said Zelle was her cousin a while back. Now they're friends. Am I the only one who heard them say they were cousins a long time ago? And she did say Zelle was her cousin.
Hmm.
And Marsha said, wonder if it's true that the network moves them out here to get them a place to film, which I'm sure they do. Still trying to figure out why Malaysia left her mansion in Atlanta to be so unhappy in LA. Exactly. It's like it's
To
the
make her
story,
money. She already said that. She said that numerous times.
but
She
the
said that in
story,
this episode.
but the story that
She
she's
said, I'm
given at
coming
this,
to LA to work.
Yes, but just say to work on this show, not to work to find another building. And I got a whole mansion in Atlanta. My kids are moving into this little apartment. Like she's spending a lot of money just to be on the show.
Right. I think the show is spending money to have her on the show. So I'm sure that they, put her up because she came here by herself. Her kids weren't expected to stay with her in LA. There's no reason to put her up in a mansion at all. So a two-bedroom would have been fine for just her.
They're like, girl, this is all we can afford. Shaunie
Right.
was like, I got a whole new man in
You know
Texas.
what I mean? And a wedding to pay for in Anguilla. I got stuff to do. Put her up in the two-bedroom and she'll be cool. I think you're right.
If
Shawty
you
was
bring
like,
if you bring your
put
kids,
her
it's up to you. But right now, this is all you're gonna
right.
get. Because I could have
Exactly.
gave you a one bedroom.
Absolutely. Because it's like, why would she need a mansion? She's coming out here temporarily to work. She actually lives in a ATL. She's not, Rihanna. She's not a billionaire. It's no reason for her to be like, oh my God, no way am
Right.
I going to stay in this tiny spot. She's just saying she left the kids with their dad. The dad went on the road. He's not there, and the kids now can't just
So,
stay with
Cindy,
her
let me ask you
sister.
this: did she not know that the dad was gonna go on the road before she came to LA?
I don't know. It sounds like he may have taken that coaching position before they had made their arrangements. That's what it kind of seems like. But again, we're only 3 episodes in, so she might not
I
have
don't
known the
believe that because they
schedule.
have a season where they have to like he has to go to work. So
Yes,
that's why the story doesn't make sense to me.
but all of these years,
My cousin played professional basketball, and
right?
I know there's a season where they have to go. Like even if he didn't know he was going to get hired on, she still knew there was a possibility that he was going to have to go to work.
That is, if he told her, it doesn't seem like they have a really good co-parenting relationship. I don't know what he told her or what she may have known in advance. It
What's
doesn't
going on
seem
with
like
Let me
she
see.
knew.
Yeah, I'm not feeling Malaysia's storyline. Marcia says, so we're just going to have an unhappy Malaysia all season. I hope she turns it around. Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Because
I
I'm
agree with
sick
that,
of
but
it.
I don't. But I'm definitely much more annoyed with Brandy, and
Right.
I'm not really annoyed with Malaysia at all, to be honest. But that's just me.
I know you are.
I'm sorry. I don't see that she's done anything wrong. In fact, I feel
We
like
knew
she's
it.
trying to do everything right. She knows that Brandy is being rude. I can't wait until they see all the footage, the confessional footage, because Brandy has been talking real slick, and I feel like
But
if
so
she
has
didn't want
Malaysia.
to, because she's defending herself. She's defending herself.
Malaysia since she's been on this show has been very disconnected. Like if the only person that she's really stayed connected with was Jackie.
Right. I
Because remember
agree.
she got rid of Drea. But first she brought on Bambi,
Mhm.
then she brought on Brandy,
Mhm.
and she disconnected with everybody every single time. Malaysia's
Right.
never been a friend to anybody.
I feel like she was a friend to Brandy.
I think she was too, which is probably why Brandy has the feeling that she has.
I don't know. I don't feel sorry for her because Brandy brought this on herself, and Malaysia was 100% right. I can't wait until we get that part. So let's
Okay.
move on. We're done with Zelle. Who
All
cares?
right.
Nobody cares
I
about
want to
Zelle.
read a few comments. Miss Drea said the kids go with him every summer per Malaysia's words. That's always been their agreement. So again, I agree with the caller on that one. I'm not here for Brandy, such an aggressor. Brandy is bitter. Malaysia thinks it's all about her. It's people feel different. Brandy's been gunning for her aggressively, and as big as she is, girl, back up. Okay, so let's
Thank
move on.
you.
Let's move on to the next part. We get here to the meat market.
Right.
Okay.
Meat market.
Again, this is what I want to see from Basketball Wives. Jackie and Duffy are hugging each other. They're excited
Yep.
about this event together. I love this whole moment. Um,
Me too. It started out really fun. I mean, although
mhm,
Jackie made it gross, but yes,
okay, but
of
but
course.
I love this because one, I feel like this is stuff that Jackie wanted to do from the beginning.
Yeah, I agree.
So I
And this
think
is how the show was set up. I mean, this
yeah,
is how it literally used to be.
yeah.
Yep.
We have the girls. Brandy's here, Duffy's here, Brooke's here, and Sunday gets here. Sunday tells them about what's the man's name again?
Who's Sunday? What do you
I
mean?
mean, not Sunday. British.
Oh, British.
Yes, that's Sunday is Jackie's other friend who
Other
didn't
friend.
make it the season.
The one that Drea slapped or whatever.
That punched her and I gave her the black eye.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But British is telling them about you got me want to say Orlando now.
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, yes. Lorenzo basically he's married.
Right.
And the girl can get him to sign the paperwork.
Right.
And I'm like, so the man went and signed the paperwork with the other girl and been with you the whole relationship. Y'all got the baby
That's what
together.
I'm saying. And it's been so highly publicized, them being together, but you wouldn't sign the paper for somebody that you weren't on camera with and that you didn't live out loud in public with. Like, he just sounds like a weirdo to me.
He
like
sounds like a homosexual. Like he
right.
needed somewhere to stay, some health insurance. So he signed up for that.
Right. It's crazy. And I'm like, didn't you play for the NBA? What happened to all your money? Why are you on this lady's health insurance?
Because she can't be getting all of it from child support.
Right.
Absolutely not. I don't think that she is. And even if she was, I feel like she would give him some money back.
I would think.
Because she loves that man for real. So I don't know what's going on with his money.
I know that she loves him because they had a life together for over a decade, but that does not mean that they should be together. They definitely should
Absolutely.
not.
No, I agree with you on that. But I'm just saying, I feel like if she's seen him down, she would help him. So, and but
why would she?
Let's go back a little bit.
They're not together. She's trying to get away from him, and he won't let her go away.
Well, let's go back a little bit because I forgot to even mention this when they had the first scene because I really didn't pay attention to it, but then I heard it just came to me again. Remember when he said he was coming to see the daughter? He asked her, was she paying for his hotel?
And I thought that was so rude. And she said, why would I pay for you to have a hotel when you're coming to pick up your daughter? Like, once again, this is the second example of these men acting like these women are supposed to be doing something out of the ordinary to take care of their children. He helped to make that child too. It's his responsibility to get his daughter however he's going to get her, whether he has to stay at a hotel or not. That's not her problem.
Right.
I was like, what are you talking about?
I'd be like, boy, I don't care if you're sleeping on a cardboard box from my apartment. You take care of this kid.
That's right. Take care of exactly.
When you go to bed at night to sleep on that cardboard box, bring my daughter back upstairs.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
She's not going to live with, she's not going to live how you're living, but you're not going to be sitting there, asking me for money. That's for sure. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And Marsha, I didn't follow British story after she left BasketballWives because I didn't really care about it. She wasn't like a big part of the show. But
agreed.
Like I said, I went back and I watched Brooke's story yesterday. I watched a little bit more of them. So I remember when her and Son, that's why I said Sunday, because when her and Sunday came, the year that Brandi came, they had that big altercation because Sunday said something about Brandi having kids or something like that.
Right.
So, but yeah. And what's going on, Miss Wilson? So then, Jennifer gets there. I thought Jennifer looked very nice.
Beautiful.
Looked good.
See this wig? I can't.
Why is he here? Why is he here?
Why is he here? He doesn't need to screen anybody. He doesn't even know those girls. Why is he here? I don't need to see him on camera or Lorenzo, to be honest. But Angel Brinks.
I didn't want to see Duffy. I must call her Duffy. Duffy's man.
Right. Duffy's man wasn't there. So
yes,
he was there?
He came, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see him. They didn't talk about him.
Where was Doug at? Where was Doug?
Right. Where was Doug? And why do we see Jackie's bra? What's happening? Why? Why do we see this? Because we don't need to see it. I don't need to see that. And I don't need to see this crazy blonde anime wig on Angel Brinks. Like, she doesn't need this. What is she doing? You would never know that she has like really, really, important clients for her business.
But crazy. In defense of Angel Brinks, though, this has always been her style, though.
This has been, but she used to have regular hair. She just had extensions. It was black. She had her extensions, and that was that. It didn't look crazy like this.
Wait, she's blessed. One said, Jackie said he's outside, child. Then
That's why.
Rockstar and all the other men should have
That's
stayed
why he
outside
wasn't
too.
there. So Deb, that's why
Hmm?
he wasn't there. He's coaching in Sacramento, right? Remember,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Doug.
maybe that is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why Doug probably wasn't there.
Yes. I just can't.
Yeah.
Why are they here?
Exactly. Once again, why?
This is just my moment for like,
And then all of a sudden, like
why are they
they
here?
never give
Why
him.
is he here?
Wait a
Why are they
minute. They
there?
never give him any camera time, and then all of a sudden she's there to participate in the meat market. Girl, we don't even know you. What are their names? You know, like I just thought it was so random and so weird. Like I was like, I thought we were here for Jennifer. Now all of a sudden it's
Yes.
I'm sorry, Jennifer and British. Now
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's Nia, girl.
And I
Okay.
don't even know what the other one's name is.
Me neither. They're so
And
forgettable.
look,
They never
you,
talk about them.
I keep saying the same thing. They're not even twins, though.
They're
And I keep
not. They're
calling them
just
twins.
sisters. They're just sisters, Q, not twins. But they
I
act
don't know
like
why they're
twins.
here.
I don't either.
I'm
They're
like,
boring.
please, what? Why can't they just bring Kristen back?
Right.
And I don't know why I put this one up, so let's remove this. Oh no, I brought this up because this is when Jackie is telling them that she had invited Lorenzo.
Got
Yes.
it.
I was like, why did I
Oh,
put that in
thank
there?
you in the chat, Nina and Noria. Okay. Who knew?
Nia and okay, yeah. I don't like. I just can't. But anyways, this is when Jackie is telling them that she had invited them. Now this is my Brooke though. Here we go. Hold on, let's remove this one. Brooke is like, oh no, this is not even this. Brooke is like, stay people's business.
Thank you. And I loved her little confessional. She was just like, as usual, Jackie is inserting herself in people's business when she shouldn't. And
Right.
that is so true. I mean, I don't know why she thinks
Oh, here we go.
like they should have just had the fun moment. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Let them have a fun moment. Why is Jackie bringing in someone who is unhealthy for British? Like, she should have just stayed out of it. For real.
When you see Brooke's face, she's like, stay out their business.
Yes. Old lady. That's what you should have added. You know, I was like, what?
Jennifer is like, what's going on? And Brooke is
Right.
like, bitch, stay out their business. Like, why would you do this?
I love her. She's right though.
Yes,
She's
Brooke
so right.
is gangsta.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to say this about Brooke, because people be like, because I know we're going to come up to the point where Malaysia and Brooke get into it. They're like, well, Malaysia is this and Malaysia is that. You have to realize when Brooke fought Jackie, Jackie had mace and a gun. Okay?
Yeah. Right.
I'm scared of Brooke, not Malaysia.
Oh God. You know, I mean, the only reason to be scared of Jackie is that she is insane.
Yes.
So that can be scary because she is unpredictable, you know. But when she's talking about, do you guys just want to fight, you know, at the Ponderosa? It's just like with her and Tammy. Yeah, Tammy
like,
and Evelyn looked at each other and started cracking up, and Shaunie, to be honest. And I was just like, you're not trying to fight anybody. Let's be clear, at your age.
Especially because we already just saw Brooke tear you down. Well, actually, we needed to see because they cut it, but we saw what the aftermath was.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so we get to the meat market. Now, this is Duffy's people that Duffy picked. I don't know what this is.
Well, I don't know, because remember, Brooke was like, no, he's one of mine.
No,
like
not. No, I'm gonna show you who Brooke brought, but these are Duffy people right here. And
that's
this man, they said,
"What do you?" I didn't know where he came from.
They said, "What do you do for work?" He said, "Well, trying to love one of y'all."
Right.
Where is your job, sir? Where is your job?
And also, not even that. Why would you come walking in like that? Like he doesn't even fit.
He looks like he just got off working from like Taco Bell or something.
Right. I agree. I was just kind of like, if Duffy chose him, like, look at Duffy's man and look at this dude.
Look at that's what I'm saying.
And also look at the women that you're putting him in front of.
Exactly.
Clearly, he doesn't meet the mark. Like he
nothing. This is
nothing.
This is not the broke market. This is the meat market.
No. Thank
Jennifer
you.
is like, child, hell no. Okay.
Right.
None of this.
She doesn't want any part of it. She's just like not even giving him eye contact. She's over it. She's like, where's the guy for me? Because he's not it.
Jennifer said, "Did he just get off of work from the fire?"
Right. I mean, it's like, or the supermarket. He was coming from the supermarket, not to the meat market. Okay, he's the cashier at the supermarket. Like,
I
this
think
was ridiculous.
he might have been in like the fish market.
Right.
You know, it wasn't. I don't know where she found this man at, but this is not for these group of women.
No, not at all.
She's a blessed one. Said it's giving off-brand Ty dollar sign, and Busy said he looks like he's going to pimp someone's
right. Oh my God!
Absolutely not. And I was with Jennifer the entire time. No. Jennifer's faces were priceless for this.
Yes.
I didn't understand because that's Jackie's fan, and that's one of the twins.
And one of the twins.
Yes.
Who's not a twin, but yes.
Why are you fanning yourself with Jackie's fan in your private part?
I don't understand that. And I'm like, was a man sitting across for them when she was doing this?
It was this man.
Gross.
It was this man.
That's so bizarre. I don't get why they're even on the show. I don't get it. I don't get her.
Because they do stuff like this.
Right. And we're all like, ew. When she did that, I was like, ew.
I was too. I'm like, and then Jackie used it after this.
Gross. Well, Jackie is already disgusting. We know that. I mean, because she started off the event being like, is anybody on their period? What does that have to do with having fun? Well, then let's have some fun. I'm like, what does that have to do with having fun? Right. And it's not even your event. It's Duffy's. Like, she's just gross.
Then we had this
man. Says off the wall. No.
I'm like, okay. I mean, the men they're not even upgrading.
No. And that's what I'm saying. Like, look at what they started from, and this is where what direction you're trying to point them into. And Duffy was talking about, I'm just trying to get them laid, but but now this is going left. And I'm like, she should know that they would not, no one would sleep with him or the pizza parlor guy. They're not going to.
Saki said, "Do sit up there like a poor righteous teacher." No, God. Damn, you look like Martin as the pizza man in the movie Blue.
Right.
This is what I want to know. What's happening? And it gets worse, y'all, because then we go to this one. And I'm like, okay, Duffy, you said that you got the men.
Right.
This man told him that he had like 2 baby moms. And
and doesn't he look like Little Scrappy? I was like, is that Little Scrappy for a second? Because I was like, where's Bambi?
Bambi would have been like, the hell?
Right. I was like, where are the men talking about? Some of my friends that I've set up, they're even married now and have children. These sure dudes are not going to be those guys.
Because they want some sugar mamas. Basically, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go back to this man. They said, "What's your job?" He said, "To love you."
Right. So, and I'd be like, I would have said, "But seriously, what do you do?"
Right. What do you do? Because that ain't it. That ain't it. No. And I knew Jennifer wasn't going for that.
No.
Then we had this one, and I was like, "Okay, now."
And I was like, "Are they joking? Are they like really different?" I really, at this point, I thought, is production just bringing in men off the street being like, hey, you want to be on the TV show?
You want to be on the show.
Right. Like, I was just like, this is not, they don't look like friends of theirs even, let alone for them to be hooking them up with one of those girls. Like, it just.
At all. But you know what they kept saying? One of the twins, this one is for you. No, British. This one for British because he like feet.
Okay, but okay.
I said, now, did y'all see Lorenzo? Did y'all see Lorenzo and then y'all saw this man?
That's what I was about to say. I literally was just about to say, but did you see their exes? Because none of their exes, these guys don't even come close to even their exes. Okay. So why would they be interested? But
the problem is, Cindy, is that British gave him the card.
Yeah.
And I said, girl, you have downgraded.
But maybe she is different. To me, like, she seems a little bit more street. She's younger. She's messy because she got caught up with the feds, allegedly.
Maybe.
I don't know what the issue is, but yeah.
I'll just take anything.
Exactly. That was my feeling from her and Nia, to be honest. Jennifer was the one that actually had some standards and was like, next.
And I told y'all last week, And I wrote Brooke on the damn Twitter. I said, if that man has a cousin, a brother, please hook me up. Thank you.
Jelani.
Jelani, okay. But we still got to get past this other love and hip hop star.
Yeah, which I was like, he's back again with this hair, this Jesus hair. Is he still trying to be a rapper?
These is all Duffy's people.
Okay, well, Duffy. Okay, maybe
Duffy,
she just was
don't
trying
hook
to
nobody
have.
else up.
Maybe she was just trying to have an on-screen moment. I don't know.
And I want to see the people that Duffy hooked up, especially ones who got married. I want to see those couples.
Me too. I'm sure they didn't look like this.
I want to see them because this was not it. And
No,
then we have
on
Jelani.
Empire too.
Then we have Jelani.
Hey, Jelani. Now we're talking. And as he was walking toward him, they were all screaming, Jennifer.
They said none of y'all can have this. This is for Jennifer, y'all.
Exactly. They can take the red hair guy and the Jesus hair guy and the pizza
and
guy.
The baby daddy and the man who don't
and
have
the baby
no
daddy, scrappy knockoff. Yes, they can have that. But this is for Jennifer.
Jelani said, I got 2 internet businesses. Jennifer said, we can shut this down.
I know, but I didn't like, I was like, are you, after everything that she's been through, is she that shallow to be like, is your watch real? I thought that was really distasteful.
Well, after seeing the man that was there before, I would want to know too.
Yeah, but I just feel like I wouldn't do that to him on camera like that. Like, I don't know. I just felt like that was a little classless.
It was a little shallow, but it's Jennifer. Yeah. We know Jennifer shallow. And Brooke said, oh, no, that's my friend. And he got a nice collection of watches.
Thank you.
And I said, you know what, Brooke, you should have hosted the meat market.
Yes, okay. I agree. And that's what I thought. To myself, I was like, they should have all 3 co-hosted, but Brooke wasn't in at that lunch when they were talking about it.
Yes. But she wasn't there.
She wasn't there. And she would have been, in my opinion, I think she would have been the best person to host something like this.
I mean, is there more Jelani's? Because I just want to know.
Did she respond to you? I'm so curious.
Not yet, but I'm going to keep on. I'm like, listen, girl, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Where is my Jelani? I need a Jelani.
Yep.
Yes, this guy's very good looking. Jelani has pretty eyes too. Yep. He just had that whole vibe. Like I just want to know more about him.
Yeah. He just seemed confident. He strolled in. He wasn't seeming desperate or goofy. He just seemed like a man. He presented himself well. I liked it.
Okay, does he have a younger cousin? That's all I'm saying. He got gray hairs in his beard. He might have a son that is close to my age. I just want to know.
Right.
I got a few gray, but not that many, so I might still be able to date the son or something. Right. He looks like he could be related to Nene's boyfriend. I don't know who Nene's boyfriend is, but if they, I just want to leave him up here for a little while longer. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. He's easy on the eyes. So.
Hey, Jelani.
Shout out to you, Jelani, wherever you are.
Wherever you are.
Maybe he's laid up in there with Jennifer because who knows how that's going to unfold.
And I really hope that he's a good man, and I hope that Jennifer really dates this man because he seems like a good man. We only seen him for 1 episode, but I just hope that she chooses this man and this man chooses her back.
I agree. Well, he's already there. He's already there, and he's up for it. So that's a good sign.
Yes, because he definitely was like, I want to get away from this mess. I want to talk to you. So we're moving on we're going on a good pace.
Yeah, I like the maturity of it being like, where else can I speak with you at? You know, I was like, okay.
I was like, and he got some little swag. Like, oh my God,
yes.
Girl, call me on the phone. We can talk about this man together. Saki said he ain't that old, but I still want him to tame that beard a little bit. His beard did not need to be tamed. It's okay. It's a little wild kingdom, but I'm loving the gray most assured. Listen, let him do his beard the way he want to do it.
Right. Okay. And she didn't have a problem with it, and I don't have a problem with it either.
And I ain't got one with it either. So we all it's 3 against 1 right now. Okay. Can we get about 20 more? Yes, we get 20 more likes, y'all, please. I know he was talking about, but I don't know who she's dating. My mom said the same thing that Saki said, and he has a nice build. Yeah, the man is fine. Okay. Unfortunately, I got to take him off the screen. Then we got this man.
So that we can get with get back to this clown. Like,
Yes.
why are you even there?
Let's just have a moment of silence for him before we get to the next part, because the way that British read him.
Well, he shouldn't have come.
The way the guy put the words into British's mouth about this man.
Right. But she's used to cussing him out by now. You didn't see them on Marriage Boot Camp?
No, I did.
Mess.
No, I did. But the words that God gave her for this man in this moment, God was there for her, you know? I mean, he said, girl, let me speak through you. Okay.
Because literally she hit the nail on the head. But I was just like, girl, why are you yelling? Why are you yelling in front of potential people? You know, Pizza Man is in the background there looking stupid. It's just kind of like, girl, you are in a room full of everybody else. Like, why are you doing this?
They should have brought Jelani out after he came in the room.
Yeah, I agree.
So that all the men could see what a good man even looked like.
Exactly.
Because what this man came in and did, like, shout out to British for the guy speaking through her.
Okay?
Yep. I loved every moment of it.
Me too.
She hit the nail on the head.
Nail on the head.
She did.
Exactly on the head. But I just wish that it wouldn't have ruined the moment. Like,
yes,
clearly they're not supposed to be together.
Right.
We should have kept it on the fun side. I don't need to see her yelling at her ex like that. Like, just take that off camera. Like, again, and I will repeat what I said earlier. Him,
and if there had
as well as Rockstar, don't need any camera time. Why do they keep allowing them to have some?
And the thing that I liked the most was there was no other good men in there for her. So when she went off, they didn't get to experience that, you know?
Exactly.
So shout out, you know, thank God that she was able, and hopefully those men that was there that saw this was like, you know, maybe I should treat women a little bit better.
Maybe. Yep.
Jelani said he wasn't for it.
And I just feel like they've been broken up for so long too. I don't know why they keep having this dynamic as though they just freshly broke up. Like, they've been broken up for a while, you know?
Well, it's Jackie's fault.
Yeah, it is. But he knows better. He should have just said, no, this is her thing. Let her move on. Like, I mean, where's the maturity from anybody?
Because Jackie was like, well, what the fuck did I do?
Jackie knows what she did. Brooke told her.
She was like, damn. Put in the comment section, put y'all's caption for this picture of Jackie right now. Just give me a little caption for Jackie right now. I just want to know. What would y'all think Jackie was thinking in her head?
Well, I was looking at her thinking, like, why are you looking so confused at what's happening, Jackie? This is why you should not have brought this man to this event. She said she didn't want to be with him. She said, I'm done with him. I don't want to be with him. She said that numerous times over and over again.
Right.
Yep.
And Jackie's just trying to force this relationship, and it's like, it's just not happening.
It's just not happening. And she's like, making it work.
The caption is, doesn't Lorenzo have a girlfriend?
It's a wife. You mean a wife?
A whole wife.
A whole wife.
And who he has health insurance from.
This is crazy.
But yeah, Jackie was like, I think I fucked up this time. Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
What the hell are y'all talking about? Not me.
No, she told him exactly what she was talking about. And she was talking about him. Okay.
British did not leave nothing, no stone
unturned, honey. She told it like it was, like it's gonna be, like it is. She told it all.
A whole wife. Yes.
A whole wife.
All right, so then we get to this.
I like Malaysia. I don't see now all of a sudden why you have such a problem with her.
I just want to come down because it's really about the one that's behind her.
Yeah, I agree with. He's not necessary. Again, we don't need Zelle, we don't need Rockstar, and we don't need Lorenzo. Why are these men
we don't need Zelle swag either. We don't need Zelle swag.
No, that's what I said. We don't need him.
You said Lorenzo.
Those other ones.
Oh, you said Lorenzo, but you meant Zelle. Okay.
Yeah, I meant Zelle first.
Yes.
We don't need to see him. Rockstar or Lorenzo have airtime. Zelle doesn't. He's not on the show. He's not even affiliated with anybody other than just being Malaysia's cousin question mark / friend. So
I mean,
whatever.
if we be realistic, I mean, Brandy's friend who done switched
Yeah.
over to Malaysia's cousin / friend.
Well, I mean, but Brandi never showed him, so I don't. I just.
Well,
She
wasn't her
just
job?
said this on the show.
He was her stylist. You have to realize, I think was Brandy on the season where, yeah, she was on the season with Angel Brinks.
Okay.
And he was there then.
Oh, I don't remember him being on there.
They never showed him talking.
Shows.
He was like the twins. Like they never showed him talking.
Okay, got it.
But he was there for that season.
Okay.
But maybe because he was Brandy's friend, it didn't show him talking.
Maybe because we were still trying to get to know Brandi, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, this to me right now, Malaysia, she looked like, oh, we about to start some mess, y'all. Hey, next time.
Well, she knows some mess is going to start to happen because Brandi is there, and I didn't like Brandi's initial comment talking about her. First of all, talking about she stayed up all night thinking about this. What is your problem? Like, she seems like super obsessed to me. I would not be staying up all night for somebody that I don't like, that I have approached wrong and aggressively, and that all of a sudden she's a victim and she lied to me. I didn't like the fact that when it all comes out, but we'll get there. I don't want to speed ahead. But so her just walking in, Brandi's initial reaction was her whole mood shifted. So you're going to let a whole nother grown woman affect you to the point where you were smiling.
I understand. That's her best friend. That's not her best friend.
No, it's not the best friends because they haven't spoken in 3 years.
That's what I'm saying. I said it's her best friend who's not her best friend anymore. But
right.
where they left off at is I understand that though. I get it.
What? I
get it.
I don't. Because when I'm
Jackie is not the only basketball wife winner because Brandi is.
Yeah.
And who there's another, is it another wife?
Yeah.
Brooke, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
He's not a basketball player, but she is a wife.
Yeah, and Jackie's the longest married woman on the show. That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Q. Y'all, please hit that like button. Nobody should change my whole mood.
Thank you, Darren. That's what I just said.
It's a battle of the petty betties between the two of them. I'm telling you, I understand. Let me see what Brandi's sign is. Let's see.
Okay.
She's not. I know she's not a Virgo.
She just seems messy. Whatever her sign is equals mess to me. Because once again, she's like, "Oh, she changed my mood. I stayed up all night." I'm like, "Girl, why are you being so dramatic?"
She's a Gemini. What's Malaysia's?
Geminis really do kind of have the split personality, but she seems to have the same one. I'm a victim.
Oh, Malaysia's a Leo, so that's
my
strong
sign.
Dynamic. That's
my sign.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look,
so it doesn't seem like either one of them is in the back down mode, you know.
Thank y'all in the chat for posting. I was looking it up, but thank y'all. But this mess shows up here. I'm not specifically talking about Malaysia, but this mess shows up. And I think there's more. There's two things that's going wrong here. One, Zelle has been very disrespectful to Jennifer.
He has. That I didn't even understand when he was on that seat, you know, why he was even there, to be honest. But fact, he shouldn't have been at a party with Jennifer.
This is his third season being on here.
Yeah.
I think the married sister's husband does something basketball related. Oh yeah, the other twin, she's married too. I think he plays basketball.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
The one that wasn't sitting down trying to participate with the meat market?
Yeah,
I don't know anything about those girls. I really don't.
Well, only reason I remember was because Miss Dre said it because I forgot to. But she is married. That is very true.
Okay.
Then he sits down and disrespects Jennifer.
Right.
Look
and I was like, he wasn't trying to be a participant, right? Did they bring him up there for a joke?
You are a stylist. What do you even have on, first of all? Second of all,
right.
You sat there and then you told them why she doesn't like you, then disrespected her again.
Talking about maybe she got some dental work done now. First of all, she looks 1,000 times better than him. So he needs to shut up.
And I would just simply, I don't believe Jennifer's breath stinks either. And if it did, Zelle was wrong as fuck for saying that in publicly.
I
And I said
agree.
that part on purpose because he's wrong for that. Like, she could have had a bad day one day, okay?
Right.
It doesn't
Right.
really matter.
Or any kind of medical condition. I don't want any man talking about a woman's anything, to be honest, like that. You know what I mean?
Sorry, game. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Zelle, like, this is why I don't like Zelle. I've never really liked Zelle.
Me neither.
And he just looks like, oh, let me cause more chaos. And then Malaysia even says, well, I didn't bring him in for anything else. So then why did he even sit down and talk to them?
I don't know.
And let's talk about the fact that this man is struggling with his sexuality.
Right. Well, he said that he likes both, but then he wants to get married
but he
to
doesn't
a
like
woman
both
or something.
Zelle is running around saying this because he said that he wants to have children. Gay people have children every day. So
absolutely.
That's not an excuse for you wanting to be bisexual or to date women. You are confused, sir. And we need you to figure out, go to some counseling, something, because you're confused at what your sexuality is.
And he also just
then you're tearing down this woman for no reason.
Right, but he also just simply needs to stay out of grown women's business. He's not in it, so just stay out of it, you know?
Yeah. I remember when Evelyn said Jennifer's breath stinks. No, Zelle said it, and then she repeated it.
And he told that to Evelyn.
Yeah, he told that to Evelyn.
Mm-hmm.
But she never said that until she repeated it back what he said. Jennifer tagged me in so I can sell the dinosaur from I would have loved to be able to read Zelle because Zelle is, I mean, I cannot with Zelle. I can't.
I can't, and I don't understand why he was sitting in as like he was participating in it.
Because ain't no men there.
Right.
But the man that was there don't want you.
Exactly.
So this is Brooke, Malaysia, and Jackie. They're talking. This is when she went and told. When Brooke went and told Malaysia.
First it was Jackie and Malaysia talking, and then Brooke came over saying like, she's over here saying this. She thinks that you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah,
which I appreciated her doing.
But we all know that Malaysia brought him there for the mess.
I don't think so, though. So
anytime Zelle's in a place that they bring Zelle to, he's there for a mess. We've never seen Zelle in a good place.
She didn't want to just be stuck with having, once again, being on her own and trying to be on her own, because the other event she came on her own, and Brandi has been all up in her grill, and so she brought her friend.
Okay, Cindy, let me ask you now. You've watched this show from the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If there's anybody, for Malaysia to come in with Zelle, it's messy because she's been with Jackie since day one.
She has been, but she can't. But right now, out of all of the women, she's only speaking to Jackie right now.
So she could have came there with Jackie, not with Zelle.
Well, but she wanted to bring her friend. But okay, so let's just say she wants to be messy. Fine.
Yes.
I think she's already annoyed. She was already annoyed with Brandi having those other 3 events, being all up in her grill, and she's just tired of her. She just didn't. Maybe she brought it to irritate the group. I don't know, but I don't really see her being like that. I've never seen her being like that. So why would she start now?
Even the people in the chat are even saying that about Zelle. When you bring Zelle around, it's always mess.
He is a mess. He is.
And I will say that again, even when Jackie was by herself, Malaysia has always had Jackie's back. So I don't see why she wouldn't think that Jackie would have her back coming to this.
She hasn't been. Every time they get into it, Jackie hasn't been in it. This is the first time at the end of this.
But to me, she should have done it with Jackie, because every season that Jackie has been into with the girls on the show, Malaysia has been like, well, Jackie, you should really fix this. She's always done that. So then why can't she give Jackie the opportunity to do that with her Brandi?
She did give her the opportunity, and like I said in our last episode, I felt like Jackie should have taken on more responsibility, since she did share with her situation currently. You know what I mean? And Jackie has not done that. She's not been in there.
I don't feel like Jackie took it serious because she's been a single mother, Cindy.
But then why are you saying that she should depend on Jackie?
Because
she hasn't been doing it.
Because so you bring on messy Zelle to say, well, because I don't like Brandi, I'm gonna come with you.
Probably. Let's just say she was being petty. Okay.
But you also brought him in, and he's not only into it with Brandi, but with Jennifer too.
That was inappropriate. That I did not like that for that.
And then he sat down and read Jennifer in front of everybody.
Well, he's just being doing his normal Zelle swags,
And that's why
rude,
she shouldn't have brought him. This is
messy.
why
Yeah.
this is why people, this to me, this episode showed Malaysia's hand for me.
Okay. Well, so she brought him. She was over Brandi, and
Right.
when she wasn't bringing him, Brandi was all up in her face. So at some point, who's tired of being messy? Because Brandi is always the one yelling and screaming when he wasn't there. So she got tired of it. She's a human being. What is the big deal? He's a mess.
The big
Okay.
deal is
They
Malaysia
bring on a
needs,
whole bunch of messy folks.
the thing is that Malaysia, at some point, she has to be an adult at this point.
Yes.
Because every time that
But
people
so
have
does
gotten into it,
Brandi. She's
huh?
not a child. Be an
I
adult.
think,
Talk to her like an adult.
and I get what you're saying, but throughout all these seasons that we have watched, when Malaysia was popping up trying to fight the smaller people or people who wasn't gonna fight her back, Brandon's like, Malaysia, I don't need you here. Like, you didn't have to do this. She's always trying to stop Malaysia from fighting everybody. And so
Who?
now that
Well,
she's on the,
that's why she's saying. That's why Malaysia says, I have changed from that person. She doesn't. She and Brandi keeps pushing those
so you
same
bring
buttons.
Zelle to do it?
No, she just wanted to have somebody have her back.
She needs
Jackie
to be
hasn't been chiming up. No.
if she's
Jackie
changed to a
hasn't been
different
chiming
person.
up. And when she was just with Jackie and the rest of the girls, Brandi was all up in her face. And she got tired of it.
Right, and this is a good comment, lovely. I think it's Givian. Doesn't she have other friends she could have brought? So your only friend is Messy Zelle?
No, I don't think that. I think you're reading way too much into it. I don't think so.
Malaysia,
Oh,
you could have brought a
thank you, Miss
sister.
Drea. I just saw your comment. Thank
What
you.
she say?
And I agree with you.
Oh, she says she's windmilling for Malaysia hard. Are y'all related? LOL, fun shade. We all have our favorites, so I understand. But Malaysia is very messy and petty. We love you, though, Cindy.
Thank you. I just
I need
feel
to
like
see that.
we just disagree. I don't agree
What's going on,
with
Joshua?
I don't agree with Brandi more than I do Malaysia.
Bambi, perhaps. Bambi would have been messy too, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Bambi and Zelle are the same type of people. That's the thing.
But
So,
I mean, we kind of know now that I'm thinking about it. We kind of know that she does have a tendency to do that because at a certain point, it was Brandi and her. To be honest,
but I
they
would
would
tell you
always
this,
be
though.
together. They would always be kind of clicked up. She always had some sort of backup, and Brandi used to be that person.
Malaysia was trying to talk to Jen, and Brandi needed to say something because Jennifer's not going to give Malaysia the same energy. Jennifer was going to be like, oh,
Right.
okay. But in reality, just like the whole chat is saying, when she brought Zelle in, we all knew what it was.
Okay.
Hands down, we knew. So we're here with Brooke. Brooke is saying, like, yo, Jennifer thought this, whatever. We get to this part, which we just was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yo, I didn't bring Zelle for this. I brought Zelle for me. But it just looks shifty because why did he sit down in that seat to talk to her?
Right.
It don't make Malaysia's story look good.
I don't know why they put him in as a participant in the meat market because only the men that were participating in that was sitting where he was sitting. So I don't know if production was like he said I'm here to be one of the guys or what. I have no idea why he was sitting there.
Yeah.
That was not clear to me. It was like they walked in and all of a sudden he was sitting across from them and Jen was on her phone like I don't want to talk to you. Period. And
he should have not talked to her.
Right.
But what
he
he did
sat
was
down. But for all we know, maybe they were trying to produce this drama because he should have been off to the side like the rest of the men were. Why are you sitting down? Why are you there?
True.
It just really didn't make any sense. So who knows why he plopped down there, but he did. And so here's Malaysia going over to Jen being like, no, trying to have a moment with her.
Mr. A said, Zelle has never acted like he was raised, so we all know that he is crazy. Zelle was trying to buy meat from the meat market.
Right. Then that would have been even more reason for him to go over there where the meat was. Don't sit down on the couch with the women and insert yourself like being in these women's business. Go over there and shop for your meat. Other than Jelani.
Other than Jelani, the other man he could have had, because he was on the
He could have
show with
had.
Rockstar and the man with the long hair.
Yep. Agreed.
So, and Joshua said he shouldn't have said anything true.
Yep.
And Q said he's an ish starter, and he is.
He is.
And because when she was ignoring him, she was like, "You don't have to say nothing else." He kept going.
Yep.
So, but
He
this
should
is
have just
them.
he should have just seen his way on out. Yep.
And you know, my thing, why is his sister sitting here?
Right. Because they were still in the same positions that they were when they were entering the meet.
Right.
Yeah. She's so useless though, but even doesn't she just read as boring? Like, I just don't see the point of those sisters. I'm sorry.
I don't either.
Maybe they're nice girls, but I don't get why they're a part of this at all.
And here go the other one, because when they started getting into it, Brandy's like,
Right.
"Get off me! Get off me!
Yeah.
Who are
Right.
you? What are you? Why are you touching me?"
And exactly, but I thought that was kind of funny too, because she was like, who are you and why are you here? Basically, she's basically saying what we've been saying this whole time. And laughing.
Security, that's an extra guy to here.
Right. But before you spin off to this, let's just go back to really quickly.
Okay.
Malaysia going back. Okay, talking to Jen.
Mm-hmm.
Jen didn't even get a chance to respond before, loudmouth Brandi being like, once again, you knew, girl, shut up. Why are you even talking? She was not addressing her. She was addressing Jen.
I don't feel like she thought that.
She seems so desperate for Malaysia to acknowledge her. Girl, don't.
I don't feel like she
doesn't
thought
wanna
that
talk to
Jennifer was
you.
going to take up for herself.
It doesn't matter. It's not her place. Of all the girls, she needs to shut up.
I mean,
She
because
wasn't
if that's the
talking.
case, then why did Sunday have to go over to Malaysia and tell her that Jennifer was offended?
I didn't mind Brooke went over there and said that, because she was just like, you need to go and clear it up. She wasn't doing what she just did. Like, she knew, so you need to go over there and tell her and blah, blah, blah. That is how Brandi came off. Oh, exactly. I said that last week, Miss Drea.
The twins didn't even make it to the intro. I think they were using them in case they needed fillers for the episode.
Or
I
just
don't
like
even think they have
just like a room filler. They just seem like a room filler or a seat filler or something.
It wasn't British. It was Brooke.
Brooke.
Yeah, it was Brooke. But it does, to me, it matters because, one, call it what it is. Like, you know Zelle's messy, and you know that he was talking cash money crap about her. She didn't even say, well, you know, me and Zelle don't get along. She said, you knew what he argued. She knew that the issue that they had with him. Zelle didn't even sit down and start reading Brandi. He was reading Jennifer. And Jennifer's sitting there like, oh, okay, well, you can go. He can go. Because Jennifer is not that hood. She's not going to do all that stuff that Malaysia
I understand
and
that,
Brandi
but then
want to
Brooke
do.
is, I'm sorry, Brandi is only chiming in because it's directed towards Malaysia. And she seems so desperate to have some acknowledgement and some kind of interaction with Malaysia. She did not have to say anything, whether Jennifer would stand up for herself or not. She didn't need to chime in. And that's where I have a problem. And then once again, with that narrative, she's been doing that since the beginning. You knew about my dad, and you knew. Okay, she didn't know about your dad, and maybe she knew about Zelle, but who cares? And why are you talking to her?
I still understand why Brandi jumped in. So I mean,
wow.
I said I knew once we got to this part we were going to start disagreeing. That's fine. It's okay.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I get it. So we got here. Brandi's like, get off me, girl. Who are you?
Somebody's
in here. What's going on?
Right. And then she was looking at her like, security? You're not security. Who are you? Yes.
So then we get to Malaysia, and Brandi there getting into it in front of Jackie. What else? We have, this is the part to me that was very interesting.
Yeah, me
because
too.
I have to say, even though I am definitely Team Brandi, this is where, again, me and you called this 9 months ago.
We did. And I'm definitely not Team Brandi because we knew this. And like I said in our last episode, what is she expect? What does she want from Malaysia? And I said in much more descriptive terms, she helped her get on the show. So why would she be mad at her because her big mouth got her off the show? Why would she lose her check that she was on that show before Brandi was even on? And she helped to bring her on and tried to help keep her on. and that was when the season when Brandi was so hell bent about being so mad at Shaunie, and do you and she got herself off the show. She was annoying as fuck. I'm just gonna say it. And Shaunie didn't want to deal with her. Nobody wanted to shoot with her. And Malaysia still was trying to have her back. I'm
Right.
sorry. It is what it is. And we did call this like months
What
ago.
I will say is before we even get to this part, when they were here, Malaysia
Hmm.
started putting her hands in Brandy's face. Now we know we don't do that.
We
So
don't do
I
that.
understood why Brandy.
But she started doing that because once again, Brandi could
She
not
was
help
like, "You
herself and
shut
she
up."
directed to her.
She was like,
Exactly.
"You shut up." First of
No,
all, you
she
don't
corrected
put your hands
herself
in my
and she
face.
said, "Stop talking to me."
Oh yeah, stop talking
She
to me.
Yeah, she said, "Stop talking to
Same
me."
thing. But
Hmm.
and Brandy's
No,
final
shut
close
up
was
is
like, "You shut
worse.
up."
Shut up to me feels like a slap. Stop talking to me means stop talking to me because I
When
don't
your
like you.
fingers in my face, all I hear is I don't hear nothing. You shut up.
Because she shouldn't have
We
chimed
were
in.
this
It was not
this.
her place.
I feel we disagree on that. But again,
Yes.
so when they got to this point, Duffy was like, "What?"
What is going on? Right, right.
I knew she was, and she did say, she said, "I knew it was more than this." And
Yeah.
again, like I said, we called this months ago, but this was the point because when they started showing those flashbacks, one thing that I didn't catch until they showed this flashback was when Shaunie and Brandi were talking, she said, "Well, I called you to talk to you," and Shaunie was like, "You asked me about your job, Brandi," and she was like, "No, I didn't." She's like, "Well,
I
whatever you
remember
say,
that
whatever you
very
say,"
clearly.
and Shaunie was like, "But it's not what you were there, Malaysia, and Malaysia can say anything." Malaysia
Right.
also said that Brandi, that she went out of her way to record with Brandi,
Yep.
and then Brandi stopped recording with her. I
And
want to know,
she said until the wheels fell off. And I
yeah,
really think, like, once again, I think that my opinion of that when she said that was, I don't think that Brandi wanted to film with her anymore because she probably because of that victim mentality in my opinion.
hmm
Because I am team Malaysia and I'm definitely not for Brandi, but I feel
hmm
like she wanted almost Malaysia to leave the show too because of her bad behavior. Like she wanted her to stand up for her and take up for her, but Brandi was getting herself in the hot water by once again going at Shaunie for the second time. So I just feel like, did you want her to lose her money on the show from a show
right,
that she brought you on and that she had been on for years before she even was on the show? Like
right.
that's what kind of got me, as they were showing the flashbacks, it kind of refreshed what I was saying before was that's my problem with Brandi. What is she expecting Malaysia? What does she want from her?
I feel like personally, I feel like they had a conversation. This is my own opinion, y'all. This is not on the show. This is my own personal opinion, y'all. Y'all can feel how y'all want to feel about it. I feel like Brandi and Malaysia had a conversation that season at Tammy and them
What?
like they were lower than them. They were. The thing
Yeah.
is that when it came to Brandi and Malaysia, normally Brandi was a mouthpiece and Malaysia was the backup. Like she was like,
Right.
if this is it, I'm gonna just fight.
Right.
I don't know if Malaysia was expecting Brandi to actually say anything, but I felt
Mm-hmm.
like throughout the years they had each other's back. So I feel like that's why Brandi feels like she has the feeling that they have. I want to see what happens next episode, if or whatever episode they actually discuss what Malaysia said,
Mm.
because to me, I feel like they were a duo. Shaunie and Evelyn wouldn't do this with each other. They were there, and they
Mm.
were the same on this franchise with Malaysia and Brandi. If
Mm-hmm.
one did it, the other one. When Evelyn left, Shaunie took a back row. She's like, "Yo, I'm not even coming back, y'all. I'll be there to say hi to y'all, and I'm leaving."
Right.
Because they stood with us. They were real friends. I
Right.
feel like
And they're still
Brandi
real
feels
friends.
like Malaysia was not a
She was
real
just
friend,
at her wedding with Jackie.
huh?
She was just at her wedding with Jackie.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the friendship that Evelyn and Shaunie have is the
Was
same
real.
one that Brandi and Malaysia had. I feel like maybe Malaysia should have been like, "But girl, don't say nothing," because I feel like she was standing up for the both of them because she was saying, "Y'all are treating us like we ain't shit."
Right. But that again, once again, that's kind of in her head. They were acting like veterans and they weren't treating, in my opinion, they weren't treating them bad because they felt like they were better, and maybe they were, but it feels to me like at the time when it was happening, it was like, you guys are rookies, especially you,
Shaunie
Brandi.
told him that they
So,
had no substance.
well, that's what, but then she should have proved that to her, like, you're on the show, so you're
I mean,
boring,
I
and she's
think
still telling you that.
to me, if I'm Brandi, even if I'm Malaysia or Jackie, I would be like, but y'all had to come. Well, actually, Brandi did say that too. She said y'all had to come to our show. So
She
for
said,
them not to
she
have
said what?
substance, she said y'all had to come to our show because they had to leave theirs because Evelyn and Tammy was beating up everybody.
Oh, right.
So, so when Brandi said that, Brandi, I mean, in reality, she wasn't lying. It was true.
Yes, but it
They had to
shouldn't.
come to
But
LA to
also,
restart.
but right. But so, Deb, we all know this too. Sometimes it's not what the message is; it's the messenger. So, as a rookie, you need to shut up.
But is
It
she
shouldn't have
really?
come
She's
from her.
not really a. I mean, she's not really a rookie though, because they was on for what, like 6 seasons. Brandi was
Yeah,
there
but
for 4 of
she was
those.
only on the franchise 1 to 2 seasons,
No, she was on
and
for
the
4.
second season wasn't, right?
She was on for 4.
Oh, she was on 4.
Yeah.
Oh God, that just goes to show you how much I don't think about her because I never liked her. But okay, she was on 4.
So, I mean, Brandi, and the thing was, Brandi and Malaysia's friendship was what drove that show.
Yes, but in not a good way. You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
It was better than Evelyn and Shaunie's.
well, but okay, but the dynamic of the LA show was different than how it was in Miami. I feel like, their dynamic in LA worked a little bit different, than how Miami worked. That's how I saw it when I was watching both shows. So,
Mhm.
I feel like,
I
Brandi,
got into LA because they canceled Miami, so I'm with you on that.
right.
So I didn't, because I really didn't even want to watch them. But once
Hmm.
they canceled the Miami show, I did start watching them, and I did fall in love with the friendship of Brandi and Malaysia. And
Okay.
again, I didn't even know, because I told you today before we even got on here, I didn't realize that Brooke got on before Brandi did.
Yeah,
But when
that's
Brandi came in hot. From the
yeah,
time Brandi had sat down on the show, Brandi came in hot. So
yeah,
they already knew who Brandi was. Now, what happened was Shaunie and Tammy showed up. And then all of
yeah.
a sudden, Brandi was a problem.
And
But
then
prior to
Evelyn.
that, she wasn't, because they had basically they had took Jackie down.
Yeah, but they were still kind of like sectioning off their time. They would only really film and hang out with each other because at the time, I forget, did Brandi have a problem with Jackie? Like, whatever. It seems like Brandi always has, this girl's not nice enough to me, or I don't like this. And then Malaysia was writing for her like every time, so she always has
Well,
an
they was
issue with
writing for each
somebody.
other. They was writing for each other.
They weren't writing for each other because, like I said, I mean, well, she was. I don't see. First of all, I don't see how Brandi was really riding for Malaysia. To be honest, I feel like you
Malaysia was
said that.
unnecessarily doing stuff for Brandi that made no sense all the time. Like, and Brandi kept saying, like, "Girl, I got it. Get off me." And she was turning her every time, like, "Get off me." Even when Duffy got into it with Tammy, she was like, "Get off of me. I got this. I'm good. Come get Tammy." Like, she never really needed Malaysia to fight her battles. Malaysia did it on her own. And so when it came
Okay.
down to it, when they're doing it, because when they told her that the season that Evelyn came, when she brought Brandi onto the show, they were like, well, they all got up and left. If Malaysia was her real friend, because they would have kept Brandi on that show, to be honest, because it would have drove the ratings up. Because Tammy getting into with anybody, and it would have drove the ratings. But Malaysia chose a side, period. And then when Malaysia came back, Tammy was there like, bitch, what you doing here?
Okay.
Tammy was
I
not
just
trying to have it with Malaysia at all. She didn't want Malaysia there, period, until she knew that Malaysia would not bring Brandi back. And that was because of Duffy.
right. But I mean, okay. I hear what you're saying. I just don't
I
agree.
got you.
I didn't fall in love with their friendship.
I got you.
I saw that Malaysia was a much more of a benefit to her. Like, I just disagree. I didn't think that friendship made the series. In fact, the ratings started dropping and they kept getting lower and lower until they did bring back um, a Tammy or an Evelyn. And then we got to OG, and then now we're here. So again,
And
I
Miss
don't
Dre,
see.
it was Angel Brinks. That's the thing. Like, she was showing up for like little stuff. She fought Laura Govan.
Govan.
And then they was like, oh, Malaysia's from Compton. And then she wasn't really trying to fight nobody until like Angel Brinks showed up. Like Malaysia's not that to me. Like, and I hate the fact that it's like, oh, you know, Malaysia will lay hands. Yeah, if you can't fight her back.
Right.
Malaysia's
Well,
never.
I don't know about that because she didn't really have a huge problem with anybody else. And when she was having that problem with Angel, it's because Angel was saying stuff out in the press to her, you know, about her, and that's why she had an issue.
No,
with
she
Angel.
showed up to that party because she called Brandi, and Brandi was arguing with Angel, and so instead of her asking anything,
that's right.
She just pulled up. She like,
she
somebody want to fight my
remember
friend.
That's when she had her on her sneakers.
Now,
and her,
had that been
t-shirt.
Brooke, you think Malaysia would have pulled up like that? No.
I don't know.
I don't think she would have pulled up on Brooke like that. I don't think she would have pulled up on Evelyn and Tammy. I feel like because even when Brandi got into it with Tammy, she was trying to clear the sand for Tammy to walk down the level with Brandi. She didn't jump in there like, oh no, I'm about to, if my friend get into it, I'm about to do it. She never was doing that.
Well, I feel like she always did it, to be honest.
She would show up and she would stand to the side. She popped up at Angel Brinks stuff like she's going to beat up Angel Brinks for talking because she thought Brandi was about to do something with her. When in reality,
because
Brandi
once again, Brandi was whining and crying and complaining, being like, "This girl is doing this to me."
She didn't call Malaysia though. She didn't call Malaysia. Malaysia called her, and Brandi was so into it with them because I don't remember what they was even arguing about. But she was so into it with them. The phone was just going off, and so Malaysia hung up and then just showed up. But Malaysia ain't never just pulled up out of the blue from somewhere, because if she thought it was gonna be a thing, then she would have been at the party with Brandi.
Well, she wasn't. Yeah, but she wasn't even planning on coming to the party for, I forget whatever reason it was. But she, you know, why would Brandi then, if she didn't want her help and I got it, girl, and all this stuff that you were saying that she was saying, then why would she even, you know, let it be known that she was out and arguing? She should have been like, girl, I got to call you back. Period.
That's what but the thing was, they were talking to each other. I think that Brandi forgot to hang up the phone because she wasn't like, girl, pull up, or, you know, this is a problem. Malaysia just heard what's going on in the background and Malaysia pulled up. But she don't pull up to nobody that really could fight her for real. Like, she never does that.
Well, she's doing it now because if she was afraid that she was going to get beat up, why would she say, yeah, I'll be outside. You can meet me outside.
And Brandi was trying to get outside. They wouldn't let Brandi outside.
Well, then they should have let her outside.
They should.
I think
that Brandi would have took her down.
Then let her take her down. But they let us move on. Like, why are they dragging this out? She clearly wants to confront her. If either she wants to make up or she wants to confront her. Which one is it?
I think that there's so much going on between Malaysia and Zelle and Brandi that we're not getting privy to see. Because again,
I think she said in this, just like she said in this scene, she thinks that she's mad at her for that, and she doesn't understand why. And if that is the case, that means that Brandi had 4 long years to call her and confront it and get it out. So why didn't she do that?
Because maybe that's not why Brandi's mad at her.
Then why doesn't Brandi say what she's really mad about, other than Wolf dying and her?
Because Malaysia won't talk to her.
Okay, but she still once again had years. But she had years before her dad died to call her and ask her what's going on, because Malaysia thought that they, in my opinion, I thought that they were still talking, because why would she, you know, care to be trying to track her down when she had COVID? She said, I was trying to reach her. So if Brandi is not talking to her, if Brandi is not talking to her all of these years, then now don't try to act like she's trying to extend an olive branch and Malaysia won't speak to her. She had years before she was back on the show to resolve this.
But Cindy, the thing is also, when she sat down at Jackie's wedding, she waved at Malaysia and Malaysia just brushed it off. So if Brandi
because she hadn't spoken to her in years.
But if Brandi thought it was a big issue, why would she even sit down and do that?
Well, but I feel like because she puts herself in that kind of like, see, I feel like, you know, I'm trying to be there for her and blah, 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 blah. Like when she said after, when they were at the reception of the wedding, when she was just like, she knew this, and she was, you know, talking shit about her. And then all of a sudden it's like, you should have called because of my dad and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, girl, if you wanted to make up with her or wanted to, you know, say some grievance about why didn't you walk up the show with me, then she should have had done that 4 years prior. Like
Now let's play devil's advocate, right?
mm-hmm.
Let's say, because I mean, like I said, we've already said this a long time ago. So Malaysia said it today.
Yes.
Let's say that what Brandy's mad about really is about her dad, because honestly, again, she sat down on the show and was like, "Yo, what's up?" Malaysia ignored her.
Right.
So maybe Brandy's really not mad about that for real. Because if she was,
Okay.
why would she sit down and
I
be?
really I didn't think that she was, because when she said it, I was like, you're way too angry about just that one thing. Like
Mhm.
it feels like you should be more hurt than angry. She seemed angry with her, which is why she approached her in such a, confronted her in such an aggressive manner. When you're hurt about something, like she's not been there for me. But again, once again, it's all about her. She has not been there for Malaysia either. Like I said, she had
Right,
4 years to talk
right.
to her. I mean, it's just as simple as that. So why do you think that she's all gonna be waving at you like, hey girl, hey? She doesn't, like she said, she doesn't even know me anymore. She doesn't talk to her.
I hear you. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate with all of it, because honestly, and I do agree with Pink Dynamite. I think that they both still love each other, honestly, and they don't know how to. This is almost like watching British and that man. They don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to communicate, because
Mm-hmm.
it shouldn't be this much animosity towards each other. One's guessing, one's trying to do stuff like it just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Let's pull up this last one. Oh, this is them fighting. So we kind of already talked about this.
We saw this,
They're like, meet
yeah.
me outside, meet me outside. Yes, we know, meet me outside. I
Mm-hmm.
did want to drop the link. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's drop the link if y'all want to come up and talk to me and Cindy, or just give y'all's opinion on what's going on. You are definitely able to do that. Because I thought this was a really good episode. And again, I was like, man, this is going to be the episode me and Cindy are not going to agree.
But we did agree on some of the fun
Yeah,
stuff. We both agreed we liked seeing the steaming
yeah.
and Brooke and all of that. So there were some fun moments.
Yeah, like I said, I thought that's why I gave the episode a 10, because I what I want to watch, I saw, but I also seen these friends are really fighting again, and like we're getting to
Again.
know the backstory of why Malaysia feels this way. We heard
Right.
why Brandi says she feels this way. It's three sides to the story: your side, their
And
side, and then the
I
truth
feel
part.
like if Brandy didn't come at her so aggressively, I feel like if they could just sit down, and Malaysia tried twice. She said, "So what is the problem? You are the one with all the aggression. So what is the problem?" She wasn't yelling at her. And once again, Brandy turned up, and I think that was a missed opportunity. The way she's coming at her, she's not coming at her in a emotional way. She's coming at, like a positive emotional way,
But Malaysia's
where she
also
could,
passive aggressive.
well, but she doesn't have any empathy for this girl because she hasn't spoken to her, and she's focused on her life. She said that more than once. She was just like, so we're not friends, and so let that be it. She said, you keep repeating the same thing over and over again. And once again, Brandy, she has been repeating the same thing over and over again. So get to the real point,
But so has
you
Malaysia.
know
So has Malaysia.
No, because she's not ever really trying to talk to her. She's trying to avoid her, but Brandy keeps getting in her face. She doesn't try to talk to her.
Well, first I want to say thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer said this was really fun, great commentary. So
Thanks,
did Miss
Jennifer.
Cindy.
Thank
Um,
you.
Miss Drea said I wanted to call in to have a good debate with Miss Cindy, but my phone is slow charging.
Oh,
um,
good debate,
but
Miss Drea.
Brandy only got into her face like this last time. She was sitting down the last
I'm
time. She just was
I was
yelling.
gonna say, yeah, but I mean, so Mistria, it's not a debate. The debate has been with SoDeb and I, but we love each other, so we just disagree with their
We've had 9
interaction.
months to prepare for this conversation.
Exactly. For
So,
this particular episode, we sure have. We've
yeah.
had 9 months to get ready for this because we already knew this was going to come.
Yes,
You
because
know.
you already know I am definitely Team Brandy. I know you're Team Malaysia.
Yep.
So I thought this would be definitely fun for us to talk about it, because we're going to see two different sides at some point. So
Yep. Absolutely. And I just feel like, once again, I feel like they did care for each other, and they have every right to have a discussion. I just feel like you said earlier, they just don't communicate well
yeah.
with one another.
What's going on?
Hey, how you doing tonight?
Hi.
Hello,
Is it Toria?
Toria.
Tori.
Toria. Hey, Toria.
Toria, how you doing? I'm Team Malaysia. I can't stand Brandy. I ain't never
Thank
liked
you.
Brandy.
Me neither.
And
Never.
first, she made it about her not calling her when her father passed. But she forgets Brandy moved away from LA, so she wasn't really in touch with all them people out there because she was down there trying to take care of her children.
Yep.
And she wasn't thinking about anybody in LA. And then now it's something else because she brought Zelle there, which we all know Zelle is messy boots. He's messy boots on everything he's on.
Yes, he is.
But Malaysia tried to talk to her calmly because Malaysia really don't speak loud. She always speaks softly.
Yes.
And Brandy wants to fight her, but I think Brandy's just doing this for TV time, for
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
camera time, trying to keep her job. She thinks if she acts crazy like Evelyn and Tammy and them used to do, it's going to keep her on the show. No, it's not.
But
I
Toria,
kind of miss
Tor- but
Evelyn and Tammy.
but Toria, I miss them a lot too. But do you feel like, I mean, because Brandy has always been kind of a yeller. She's yelled with every girl that she's had a conflict with, and Malaysia's no different, right? So I don't think she's doing it to stay on the show. This has been her.
That's
This
been
is how
her,
she's
yeah.
always been.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I didn't realize until So Deb said it that she was there 4 seasons.
Hmm.
Me neither. That's what I said. Like, where'd the time go? Because it felt like only two to me. I really can't remember because I never liked her, so I can't remember. But if you
I watched it
if
this
So
week,
Deb
so I
said
know.
four, then it's four.
Yeah, he
I watched
watches
it
them.
today and I watched it yesterday because I was like, let me go back and do some back stuff because honestly, I wanted to talk to you guys about something else, and we can do it. After you say what you want to say because this season also seems like it's set up for Malaysia.
Mm. A setup, how so?
Yeah, how so?
So think about the cast that we have this season. Um, we have Brandy, her best friend, who they're not getting along. We have Brooke, who when Brooke left, they weren't getting along.
Right.
We have British, who was on, they weren't getting along when she left. Who else we have? Jackie's, they still gonna be cool. Who else is there?
Angel.
Duffy, they weren't getting along when Duffy left.
Right.
So when
But
we were reading
clearly,
the, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but clearly, so that doesn't mean that they're trying to set up for her to exit because she keeps basically saying she needs that check. So I don't think she's leaving anywhere. Are you saying
I
that
think they want her to
it's
quit. I think
you
she
think
wants.
they want her to quit?
I think she might. Her contract might be almost over. Honestly, I think she may not want to be there anymore. Honestly, and I
Hmm.
know she keeps saying she needs that check, but she ain't acting like it. Because
I
if
don't
you're
think
not
that
familiar with the
Brandy's acting like it either, to be honest.
well, Brandy is because Brandy is connecting with the whole cast.
No,
I
but she
thought
really wants to
Brandy
be
and
there
Duff.
with Malaysia.
Hmm?
I thought Brandy and Duffy was so close.
That's what I
I don't see.
said.
I don't see what y'all where y'all getting that from. That
Go
they're
look
not.
again. Go look, so Deb, because
I'm gonna
they
watch
were
it again. I
so
will.
they were
Go
like
back and look
when every word every other word was my sister this and my sister that and my
I
sister
remember
this and
that.
that.
I remember that.
And they don't do that now. They don't call each other sisters. They just all of a sudden conveniently sit there together. They're in the scene. Like they
Well, I
don't
think the
talk like
relationship is
that.
established on the show now.
No, it was different. The whole vibe was different. It can't just
I
be
can see
me,
what you're
but
saying.
yeah.
because
I
when the
think
whole
I didn't think of it as like, oh, that has changed because one, we're only on like episode 3, but I mean, even she's like, yo, I don't want her to lose her friendships that she's having with other girls because she wants that relationship back with Malaysia.
No, but she wasn't antagonizing her like she is this season with that's my best friend. Like she would have never done that to Brandy before. She would have never done that. Even when she was like, I don't understand when they were on and Malaysia wasn't really feeling her like that. She was
Hmm.
more like, I don't understand why she doesn't really want me around. I feel like she's kind of maybe jealous of mine and Brandy's friendship. There's no discussions like that. And I don't feel like from the past, Malaysia would have, Duffy would have antagonized Brandi in the same way. She never used to talk to her like that.
And let me correct myself. Brandi was on for 5 seasons. She came on
Okay.
season 3. Um, Season 5 was the last season that they had with just the LA girls. Then she was on the 2 seasons with Shaunie and Tammy.
Okay.
Okay, remember when Brandi was arguing with Shaunie, and her and Duffy was real close then. They
Right.
were real
They
close
sure
because
were.
Duffy hung on every word Brandi said.
Yep. And it's not like that now, right?
No, it's not. And just like last night, for how Duffy went over and talked to Malaysia and was like, "Oh, now I got the story. I didn't know that." So it seemed like Duffy is straying away from Brandi.
Yep.
I think Brandi is just focused on one thing right now, which is whatever's going on with her in Malaysia. Because one, again, like I said, I've been through this with my best friend before, so I get it. I need to understand what's happening here, why
Yeah.
things have changed, and I feel like because they can't sit down and have a regular conversation, whether y'all feel like it's Malaysia or it's Brandi, the conversation is not being had about what's really going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because Malaysia's like, well, I mean, I'm a single mother and this is going on, and Brandy's like, oh, girl, I don't even know nothing about that, because she never really said it to her. All she knows is
She
that.
wouldn't say, but she wouldn't say it to her because every time she gets in front of her face, she's coming at her aggressively. When
Well,
you're going through
and Brandy already
something,
knows.
I'm sorry.
And Brandy already knows she's a single mother.
Yes, but she doesn't know about the financial part of her ex-husband not taking care of the kids. She does not know that. She's only disclosed that to Jackie
Miss Dre is
and Zelle.
right. Miss Dre is right. And Duffy has been teasing her about Brandy about being Malaysia's friend, jokingly, but it has been irritating her too. So that's probably why we're not hearing that as well. I forgot
But
about
she
that.
never would still address her like that. She didn't used to address her like that in the past. She would have never been
Mm-mm.
joking like that with her in the past.
Never, never.
She would
I
have
feel
never
like
done
towards the
that.
end of the season, when Duffy came in and Brandy and Malaysia was having that argument about Duffy coming, that kind of changed at the towards the end of that season.
Mm-mm.
I don't remember the thither thing because even Tammy made fun of it on the reunion
Tammy made fun of what?
about them saying that's my thither.
Yeah, exactly. But that was what she was saying, because that was all Duffy was saying for most of that season, and that's what I'm saying. Like, she was like, "That's my sister." She wouldn't have made fun of her, and she
Well, you got to make sure you say
for
it right.
sure.
It wasn't her sister; it was her thither.
It was, it was a thing
Let me ask
because she
y'all
used to
both
say it
this.
so much.
Let me ask both of y'all this. Have you so Deb, have you checked to see what the ratings have been for the show? And do you both think that the show is gonna make it because we don't have like the old ones like Evelyn and Tammy, and really Shaunie's not really there?
I have not checked the ratings, but I think that this is going to be fine because this is actually their cast for this franchise. The only person that's there that's not a part of that is Jennifer.
I really don't know if the show is going to be fine without them. I think that this is the tester, and I think that's why they didn't want to get brand new girls. I think they went with previous girls and tried to mix it up so that they kind of can hopefully recreate the balance that they had before. And I'm not sure if it's going to work.
I think
We're
to be
only on
honest,
episode 3, so
Tammy and Shaunie ruined their franchise because they came over there because Miami was flunking, and they were doing fine until Tammy came, and then the ratings kind of went up because Tammy came, and Tammy Evelyn came. Then they went up again because they brought Evelyn, and then Jennifer. And I think Jennifer came last, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
Jennifer came last from the other people.
Yeah, and then Tammy they brought OG and all that stuff, and I think people kind of got tired of it because one, they were tired of them in Miami, so they
Yeah.
should have kept them off of this franchise because, like Brandy said, they were fine before they even got over there.
Right, right. But I feel I don't know if they were fine because, like you said, I didn't start watching it until Miami wasn't on, and I really wasn't interested in watching an LA one. And when I mean, of course, I've watched all of them, and some of them are more forgettable than others. So when they first started out, I really wasn't interested in any of those girls, to be honest, you know. But I tried to give it a chance, and you know, it seemed like it, you know, it kind of grew on me with some of the characters. But I didn't mind when their ratings started to drop, them bringing on Tammy and Evelyn. I really don't. I feel like the reason that it got as bad as it did for where we are right now, to where they felt like, okay, we need to just go back to some of the older girls that were liked and created kind of that same dynamic, was because of the OG couple of seasons. You know, I don't think it had anything to do with
No, that's not.
Tammy and Evelyn.
That's not true. It just real quick, just simply said they just know she knows that the episode ratings for episode one was 517,000.
Okay.
But on this franchise, it was the Malaysia, Jackie, and Brandi trio that they ran this show.
They did.
Honestly, I didn't even realize that Jackie's real story, because Malaysia, when she came in, Malaysia took that motherly role for everybody, because it was like, y'all fighting, let me fix it. Malaysia really ran that entire franchise. What happened was when Tammy came over there and they got into that fight with Brandi, it dismantled that whole thing.
Yeah. But once again, it's because of Brandi's a big mouth. Can you really not see that, SoDeb? I'm just curious.
I don't think it's because of Brandi's big mouth. I think it's because they were treating them like they were less than in true fashion. And what Brandi said was very true.
Have to say anything.
But what Brandi said was very true, though. But you have to get
true. But it's true. But common sense would let you know. Go tell somebody that they actually respect. She could have had a conversation with Jackie and said, Jackie, will you sit on this conversation? Maybe that would have helped.
Malaysia had that conversation with Jackie on the show.
Okay, but I feel like Brandi's delivery was foul.
Remember when she said,
maybe it could have been true, but I didn't like how she delivered the message, and neither did those girls.
But I mean, you can't come in to again. To me, my thing is this: if y'all don't mess up y'all show, y'all coming over here trying to mess up our show, I would be offended by that. And remember the episode when Malaysia went to that window with Jackie, because Tammy was like, well, we didn't even invite her. And she said, well, I didn't even know I wasn't invited because I'm not a plus one. I'm always the one. Like, they were treating Malaysia bad. So when Malaysia made
because she was tying herself up to Brandi. And once again, I have to say that, you know, Brandi, you know, it was the way that she approached the situation, and she acted like she wasn't talking to the creator and one of the executive producers of the show. She was talking to her foul. And she
sure did. She talked to Shaunie so bad. I was howling at the TV. I said, "No, she's not disrespecting the boss."
Shaunie wasn't getting it though. And to be honest, when she was talking to Shaunie in a regular way, Shaunie couldn't understand what she was saying. She's like, "You told us we didn't have any substance," and she was like, "Well, you don't." Like, she was really talking to them down. And so when she was like, to be honest,
she's talking to the creator and one of the executive producers of the show. Is that how you talk to your boss?
I mean, I would. I mean, I've been fired from many jobs from talking to my boss like that. So
but
I probably would.
Exactly. And so was Brandi. And so she was fired, not because of Malaysia, but because of her.
She wasn't fired.
You don't do that.
She wasn't fired because of that. She was fired because Tammy didn't like her. Because even after she called her
because of her mouth. But if she doesn't know how to talk to people, people don't want you around. If you can't film with
Shaunie
people,
should never been on the show then, if that was the case. Period. She should have been on the show. She should have never been on the show if she cannot be a part of the show, because Shaunie was treating them like they were less than. And the truth is what Brandi said. Y'all effed up y'all show. Y'all came over here and she called Tammy a thirsty sugar mama because she was coming over here because they canceled Miami. What Brandi said was very factual, was very true.
But once again, you keep saying that, SoDeb, and I'm going to keep saying what I'm saying. It's not that the information was not correct, okay? It was how she presented the information.
But how they presented it to her, so they can talk to her down, and she got to be nice.
Yes, because she's the creator and one of the executive producers of the show.
And that's why I'm saying that if that's the case, then Shaunie should have never been on the show, because this is a reality show. We don't want to see the EP on here, and we can't say nothing to her because
that's true. But then, but whether you like it or not, she was on the show. Period.
And because she was on the show, she got talked to like she was on the show.
No, that's not how it goes.
That's not how it goes.
That's not how it goes.
No.
It was
good. Well, I enjoyed talking to y'all. I enjoyed talking to y'all, but I have to get ready because I got a lot of things to do in the morning.
All right.
It's
Thank you for coming
10:16 here.
Thank
Love
you
you
so
so,
much.
Deb. Nice to meet you, hon.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you. And thank you, Queen Bella, in the chat.
It was good TV for all of us to watch. Her tell Brandi, thank you for your services. And then she went and backtracked that. Like, I wasn't telling you was fired. Because honestly, she said Brandi was good for the show. But when Tammy doesn't like people, which is why Brandi came back after Tammy left.
Well, but I have to say, you just asked about why would Shaunie be on the show? Mm-hmm. I saw an interview with her, and she said it was because she said I have a partnership with the producers, right? She was just like, I come on when they want me on. So she clearly, yes.
Okay.
And so, I agree with that because you kind of we've seen that over the years. She said they wanted, so that first episode that she was on, when she met with Brandi again and everybody else, she was like, I come on when they want me on. Like, we have an agreement. And she goes, and if I really didn't want to do the show anymore, I could terminate that agreement. So it's her show. She was the basketball wife.
They showed her say on that clip this week that she wasn't coming to her as like no EP thing, and that's what I'm saying. Like the real issue was never really Shaunie. The real issue was Tammy, because when Tammy and Duffy got into it, and Brandi was the one, because Tammy felt like Brandi set her up because she told her she didn't want Duffy on that trip, and they brought Duffy anyway.
Right.
Tammy also messed that up because that week, that same day they got there, it was Brandi's birthday. And Malaysia was like, yo, I'm going to go down and go meet with Brandi and Duffy because it's her birthday. And Shaunie was like, well, she's here. I'm going to go down too. Tammy was like, well, I'm going to go down too. And she went down there. And she called havoc.
It's funny because that's exactly what she said and how she said it. Yes.
Tammy caused a bunch of issues with them. That's why, and then she left the show, and it's in shambles. But Tammy is the person who messed that show. Period. I don't care what nobody says. It was Tammy.
And I feel like Tammy wanted to. She was so miserable and wanting to leave and not doing scenes and stuff. So she should have just left way earlier than what she did too. I agree with that. And I also feel like
even when Evelyn came back, it was the same. I'm like, why are you restarting this beef with her again? Like, y'all already made up. Y'all was sitting on Miami when Evelyn was making fun of Jennifer because she only had 3 lip glosses, and she brought that whole makeup kit and she wrote that love letter to her and everything. Like, y'all were cool. When Evelyn came back, it's like, well, I don't like her because of this man again. I'm like, girl, we already, like, why are we doing this again?
Right. Well, I saw a side interview with Evelyn too, right before the season started. That I love the voice. That's what I'm saying, Lala. He did it perfectly. Okay. And that's why I was laughing, not because of what you were saying, but you did it perfectly. But yeah, I feel like, Tammy, I find her entertaining until she's not like wanting to leave the show. When her kind of friendship went left with Shaunie and all of that, it just became uncomfortable. She seemed miserable to be there. Like she was just trying to phone it in so she could get her little money, before she started all her little beauty project.
Malaysia's basically doing what Tammy did her last season. She's
a little bit. I just think she was fine until, Brandi kept getting all up in her face. But that's my opinion.
Yeah. Queen Bella said Tammy didn't even like Evelyn. That didn't stop Evelyn from staying. But the only reason why Evelyn got to stay was because she's best friends with Shaunie. That was the only reason.
That's right. Yeah. And I feel like, to be honest, in all honesty, it seemed like Tammy was okay with that for a second, but I really felt like she felt jealous of their friendship.
Absolutely.
Have you felt like that? I mean, Tammy
like
really seemed to have an issue.
She actually gaslighted that whole OG crap too.
Yeah. She did. because she was like, I'm on her side and she's not
Mhm.
this, that, and the other,
They
and she's
treated me
really
like
my
this when I
friend.
first came on too. I'm like, but you look a
Right.
mess when you first came on too.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. It's so true.
There was no difference, but yeah, because I'm like, there should have been
It's
never
true.
no rift between Brandi and Malaysia. This is why I'm hoping at the end of this season that they will be like they're gonna come to Jesus moment or something.
Like
Because
they'll have a real moment to kind of sit down and talk.
yeah,
I wouldn't, don't, I never liked her. So I really could care less if they became friends or not. But this kind of messing up every event with this, like, you know, poor me, please talk to me, poor, like this desperation to get her attention is weird to me.
Donna said one-sided combo Malaysia is not without fault. Sounds like so dead. So now we are living in America where your boss can disrespect you. And that's how that's how I do feel about that whole situation when it comes down to Brandi, because it's like they all felt that way. Brandi was the one. There's always that person that works at the job who's going to say what happens now. They might get fired, but but it's always that person going to say something. My best friend, when I was working at AMC back in high school, she called it out. She was like, "I don't understand why all the black people is up here working and the white people in the back parlaying." She got
Right.
fired for saying that.
Right, but okay. And like I said, I mean, I have had disagreements, with bosses in my past as well. But again,
She gonna hate me for saying
it's the way you say, it's
that.
the way
Right,
you say something. Not that
right.
it's not right. She was right, and she was just like, you guys are making it feel like, we're underneath you. When I'm like thinking to myself, you kind of are. She created the series, girl. You're lucky to be on it, and she wouldn't have been on it had it not been for Malaysia. So I'm like, you are still, to me, in my eyes, kind of like the friend of the friend. She was like not one of the OGs that started LA even. She came
Right.
later, like you
Well,
said
they
earlier,
didn't
the
even like
people that
Malaysia when
really,
she first got there either, though.
yeah, but the people that really kind of started and helped to uphold that season was what you said earlier,
Yeah,
was Malaysia, Jackie, and
the Go Dance.
yeah, and the
And
Go
there was some
Dance.
other girls there too, but I don't remember who they were.
Yeah, I think they were forgettable.
Yeah, I can't tell you what their names was. Miss Drea said, but what about when Malaysia threw that table at Jennifer? She joined the Mean Girl clique. I think that was her initiation into their clique,
Yeah.
and that's true. It didn't matter how she said it; she still was going to have a problem with what she said. True. And the fans like Malaysia, so the cast had to conform. Well, they don't like her this season, so
No,
but
they like her, but they don't really even get a chance with her because it's so much between Brandy and Malaysia.
I mean, yeah, we ain't. I don't want to keep proving this point, but
Yeah.
uh, I want. I do, and I think from the reports, we're going to see less and less of Malaysia as the season goes on.
We'll see. And if that's the case,
Hopefully, I mean,
then,
hopefully not.
and I was going to say, if that's the case, then so be it. But I mean, I don't really. It's kind of like, then what are they going to focus on?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Brooke and Jackie gonna get into it again, so we got that
Oh,
coming.
so we got that coming. Okay. I just feel like, I don't know. I'm this.
And Brooke and
Uh,
Malaysia gonna get into it.
oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to go back and look at the super teaser. I
Yeah.
wonder what they would even have an issue with. But okay.
Well, I mean, Malaysia. What did something happen? Oh well, when Brooke left, they weren't getting along because it was Jackie, Malaysia, and Drea, and it was Brooke and the Govan girls.
Hmm. I really can't remember why they didn't get along. I mean, maybe I'll do what you just did and go back and kind of refresh on some of those seasons, because right now, like I said,
I want to say it's because she fought Jackie.
yeah, but I mean, even in this season, it's not very, it's not like Brooke is giving her a hard time or giving her the cold shoulder,
Well,
so
because Brandy's is the most relevant one. I mean, they were
mhm.
best friends for all those seasons, so
Right,
theirs
right.
can't even override this storyline right now. They don't even have a
They
possibility.
can't even have that moment at
Yeah,
this point.
I feel like at some point they're going to drop this, or maybe they're going to make up, and then she's going to have to like figure something out with the rest of the girls because why we still don't even know what happened between her and Jennifer while they made up.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like they kind of bonded over the OG seasons, though, like
Oh
the
yeah,
last
yeah, yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe
Mm-hmm. Yep.
because that's when her and Evelyn made up. So
Yeah. Exactly.
maybe. Well, this was fun.
It was. Does anybody else want to come up?
I'll drop the link one more time and see if anybody else does, and then we'll give them like 5 minutes. What time is it? We'll give them 5 minutes, and if nobody comes up, then we can go ahead and end it.
Perfect.
But I definitely did enjoy this because, again, for some reason, there's people out there, I ain't gonna say nobody's name, but they don't know that I'm a Brandi fan for some reason. And I'm like, I've been Brandi since I've been on the internet. I don't know what y'all talking about. But I've always stood up for Brandi because, one, I like Brandi when she was on the show. I always loved the dynamics of Malaysia and Brandi. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to pick Brandi all the time.
Mm. I just feel like I don't see it. I've never seen it. I just don't like her. It's as simple as that. She
Uh,
just is, she's just too much with the victiming.
and I think as Levon says, why the season has so many love. I do not know why there's so many love
I don't
over
either.
here. Because you remember Bambi was over here too.
Right. And I'm just
So,
wondering too, like, does what's her name? The woman that is the producer, does she produce
Mona?
yeah, Mona Scott.
No, she's not the producer for the show. I don't think so.
It's so weird that it's so much crossover, right?
Yeah, Miss Dre said that you have a channel.
Nope, I'm just here for SoDeb and our love of basketball wives.
Yes. This is how we
I'm not
bonded when I
promoting
first started
anything.
doing my channel, y'all. British doesn't seem, Lala Chanel says, is it me or does British just seem like an extra? I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like right now everybody's an extra besides Brandi and Malaysia and
Yes,
Jackie.
I agree.
But I feel like as this season goes on, we're going to see more because British is going to go through that whole thing with whatever's going on with the legal stuff that y'all was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Brooke, I'm sure Brooke is going to have moments for this season. So I'm just
Well,
waiting.
I know I saw one of them at least. So,
Yes.
yeah.
And I want to know what happened between her and Jackie and why she's back. She's like, it's my party now. Like, I was like, yes, my girl.
Well, because you know how I'm sure, since they do have a slight past, I
Yeah.
feel like Jackie's going to say something or do something again that is going to set her off. So I'm looking forward to seeing some other focus other than this, Malaysia's mean to me kind of thing. I'm over it.
Yeah. And Young Rich Skinny is right. It is VH1. So British needs a check to give the IRS.
Oops.
LOL, LOL, like you, Miss Cindy, you should do commentary too. I love when people stand on their opinions.
Oh, thank you, Miss Drea.
So I don't think we're gonna get anybody else. We got like
Okay.
one more minute, y'all. So if y'all want to come up, y'all are actually able to. People get scared to come up on my panel for some reason. I don't know why. Because probably because I'll be stuck on what I'm talking about.
Maybe because we're so passionate. I don't know.
They're like, we ain't arguing with either one of them today.
Well, it's not like it's just we're just disagreeing. We just don't we don't agree. But it's not a bad thing.
That's why I love me some Dad. He used to stand 10 toes behind Evelyn. LOL.
Me too.
Matter of fact, Evelyn just reposted me on her Instagram the other day, y'all. Y'all better find out. Okay.
Yeah.
Jackie and her crazy auntie shenanigans entertain me. Yeah, I love me some JackieChristie. Me and Jackie always be tweeting, and Evelyn always reposting me. So actually, Brandi Maxiell reposted me too. I'm gonna make sure my phone charges the next time. Cool. We're gonna be here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. What's yours? It's 5 what?
It's 5 Pacific and
Pacific.
8 p.m. Eastern.
Eastern Standard, yeah.
Yep.
The man they hooked Jenna with look. Oh, hold on, let me pull him back up.
Yes.
Since we're here for another minute, y'all, let's pull him back up.
Jelani, one more glance.
Where's he at?
I really hope that he comes back.
I hope that this works out for her.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me pull up Jelani, y'all.
Ugh.
That ain't him.
Ugh.
There we go.
There we go.
Jelani.
Yes. That's a good note to end on. Hey,
Yes, it is.
Jelani.
Hey, Jelani. And I'm gonna hit up Brooke again tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. Brooke, where is this man's gay cousins? Because I need or the brother, somebody.
Uncle, brother, son, somebody.
Somebody. I just
Yeah.
need to know. And I don't mind the older one. So
Yes. We don't call them older, so that we say seasoned.
Seasoned. I mean, whatever he want to be called, he can tell me he want to be called a bottle of lotion. It doesn't matter. Okay. Is he what are you trying to say, Young Rich? Now I want to know what Young Rich is talking about. Is he the what? Yo, we're gonna see here till Young Rich post whatever Young Rich is saying. Yes, we got Team Brandi in here.
You purposely did not click on all of the messages that were like Malaysia.
No, when we was talking, I couldn't click on everything. I was trying when you was like, thank you so much. I was like, let me go back because I don't know what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I start talking, I don't remember it.
I don't think I didn't see it. I was looking at the chat too. I saw it, y'all. Thank you.
No, I don't know. What are you talking about? I want to know what you're talking about, Young Rich. I do not know.
You are stalling at the show. We have to go eat some dinner. What is it?
What? I will tweet you, Young Rich. And thank you, Lala. Should know. She said, great review, y'all.
Thank you, Lala.
But yes, it's gonna get a little hot over here, y'all, because this is our favorite show. So
yes,
we definitely we're not gonna agree on everything, but it's the respect for me.
Yes, and it's just the passion.
And it's Jelani for me.
And Jelani. Please, Jennifer, make a good choice.
Let me go find his Instagram. I might try to get an interview with Jelani.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Let me go see if I can find Jelani, y'all, because we're going to talk to Jelani.
And we could recreate the meat market for him.
Right.
He could bring some of his people around.
Because if we're Young Rich is talking about, hey, Jelani. No, I'm just playing.
Right.
Well, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Again, we're going to be doing this every Tuesday, 5 Pacific, right?
Yep. 5 Pacific.
And 8 Eastern. So make sure you guys tune in every week. What time is it? 10:34. I'm thinking about coming on live again tonight. We'll see. And I'm gonna be using my channel a lot more, y'all, because I'm on summer break. So you guys will be seeing a lot more of me. But you got anything else, Cindy?
Nope, that's it. Thank you guys all for tuning in, and click the like and follow SoDeb and be a part of the tribe. It's really important, and we really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And bye, Jelani.
Bye, Jelani. And bye, SoDeb. Love you.
Bye, love you too.